Welcome to the 2026 Kudos Caregiver Workshop. It is so wonderful to have you join us here live at the Kudos Caregiver Workshop. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Elizabeth Morosco. I'm the owner of Brady Events and Marketing and the founder of Kudos Magazine. We are here to share some insight to help families and communities get on board. And to kick this off, I have the fabulous Shayna Melissa Stockman here, who is a regular contributor to Kudos Magazine, which is a wonderful digital magazine that's focused on healthy, happy living. And through strong voices like hers and other speakers that you're going to meet today, we're able to share this information to help families get stronger, healthier, and happier. So Shayna, thank you so much for coming. For those of you that don't know her, she is also known as the autoimmune expert. So you're going to get a dose of a lot of good stuff with her joining us today. So welcome, Shayna.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I absolutely love your beautiful magazine. And for those of you that don't realize, Kudos and I have been collaborating now for your last 24 issues of the beautiful magazine. So thank you.
Yeah. So we've got a whole deck of them there for you that you can go check out. And we also have a blog. Some of you may not know, but it's really simple. All you got to do is go to kudosspotlight.com. You can read our blog, get regular promotions, coupons, and the digital magazine. And for today, we were going to have a chance to talk about some of the things with healthy, happy living. But these are things that you can do every single day by being on our email list. And this beautiful digital magazine is brought right to you. And we have people like Matt Abraham, who you're going to meet in a minute, and Shayna and others who do regular content pieces. We integrate their video right into the magazine. They're always providing special promotions, freebies that you can't find anywhere else, but you got to go sign up and it's free. So why wouldn't you, right? Kudosspotlight.com. So Shayna, tell me a little bit about, you've been doing media, social, but really your background in healthcare. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to share my message because I feel as a nurse practitioner for 30 plus years and a registered nurse over 30, a lot of times before social media, I was only tied to helping people locally. But now I have clients in other states and other countries, and they don't have to fly in to spend air, hotel to come see me. We can do a video visit consultation. And thanks to Brady Events and Marketing, that my message is getting out to other countries and other states. So now I can help clients in, I think, every continent now, just about. So thank you very much.
I'll tell you, she is not unfamiliar with this because, as she was saying, she has done live streams with clients from around the world. And it's amazing to see her transform some of these people from desperate situations to finally feeling good and living life again. And it's happening through technology like we're using right here today. So what you take out of this workshop, it's going to be up to you. Number one, if you choose to listen to the words of wisdom that these pros are going to give you and apply it to your life, or if you even get into a situation of trying to learn. Are you willing to learn and grow? What you take out of this is going to be up to you. But the people that we're bringing today are professionals. These aren't people that are getting random ideas. They have literally studied, gone to school, and practice what they're teaching you for decades. I'm going to just turn over the stage to Matt Abraham, who is a state attorney for Abraham Law in Fenton. I think you're going to find some information that will keep you and your family healthy and on track. So, Matt, take it from here.
Well, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me, Liz. And I think we're coming up on a year, my partnership with Brady Events and Kudos Magazine. I think if we didn't hit a year, we're coming up close. So I really appreciate it. I love the partnership. I'm one of those guys that I'm all about information, sharing information, answering questions. In today's day and age, which is the information age, back in the day, it was probably too hard to find information, very difficult to get it. Today, it's almost too much. You don't know what to get, where to get it, and what relates to you personally. There's almost too much of it. So I love platforms like this, which allow us to get somewhat specific, to talk about relevant items that really impact all of our lives. And so at Abraham Law, that's exactly what we do. We provide hometown services to local people, local businesses of all types, all sorts. I'm in my 34th year of practice. My father actually started the practice way back in 1974. So Abraham Law has been around quite some time, predominantly in the Fenton area, which really we take a lot of Genesee County, Livingston County, North Oakland County, even Shiawassee and Lapeer counties plug in quite a bit. So we are here really just to share information, and that's what I hope to do today. A lot of this information is really just to convey to people what really they should be asking, what they should be looking for. I'm probably going to answer a whole lot of questions that people have asked. And so I hope that, in fact, today they get some answers to their questions, or at least know where to begin. A lot of this information can be found on we have a website designed to share this information called startmyestateplan.com. You can also visit that. But today, my message really is, and really always is, the importance of estate planning. And really just understanding what estate planning is, what it does, the components of it, it pretty much in and of itself is the message of importance. And it's amazing though, although everybody needs one, it seems so few people have one. So I'm going to share some slides. I'm going to go through, I'm going to let you look at what we're doing. And so with regards to that, everyone needs one. Nobody has one. So why is that? What are some of the things that allow people to put estate planning off so easily? I think a lot of it has to do with obstacles and misconceptions. Fear, for example. A lot of people fear that it's just too complicated. It's too difficult. Or lack of information. I just don't know what I need. I don't know why I need it. I don't know where to begin. Some people believe it's too expensive. Some people believe it's just for the wealthy. But really, at the end of the day, it's a lack of information. And today, I hope all that changes because you are here, you've decided to plug in, and I'm going to give you some basic information that hope dispels these misconceptions. Estate planning is not complicated, not at all. But it is, however, technical. That's why I have a job. I love explaining it. At Abraham Law, we take a very pragmatic approach to building your plan. The best analogy I can give you is that a comprehensive estate plan, which by comprehensive, we simply mean complete. You've got a check mark in every box. It's very much like building a jigsaw puzzle in reverse. And it's really just a matter of having a conversation. Once we sit down, have a conversation with you, and we learn about the who you have in your life, the what you have in your life, the how and the when of your estate plan. We call those your puzzle pieces. By definition, we are able to then begin assembling your puzzle. To be honest with you, what happens is by identifying these pieces, having this conversation with you, your puzzle really begins to develop itself and takes form, takes a picture, and then we set out to put it together. So who needs an estate plan? Who should have some type of an estate plan? Well, the easy answer is everybody. Anybody and everybody with a pulse should have one. What are the benefits of a properly crafted estate plan that is unique to you and your circumstances? First of all, it allows you to maintain total control over your estate and your assets, which everyone should be able to maintain. Second of all, and this is for many people, probably one of the biggest ones, we want to be able to avoid probate over you and all of your assets. We want to avoid a guardianship proceeding, a conservatorship proceeding. These are unnecessary, and a good thing with estate planning can be completely avoided. We can reduce or many times outright avoid certain estate and income taxes. Certainly a whole bunch of filing fees, certification fees, inventory fees, publication fees, many creditor claims. There are significant cost savings to having an estate plan. We can protect your spouse, protect children. We can protect from inheritance from creditors. We can provide for disability planning in case something happens to you. We can prevent delays in having to probate an estate and having all of that delay, all of that expense tied up in probate court, for example. We can provide for, I don't think I mentioned this, but special needs. Many of our clients have children with physical or mental limitations, autism, any type of special needs. We can preserve the integrity of their benefits like Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, disability. A lot of people don't realize that if they inherit money, that could very significantly impact their eligibility for these, but it can be so easily planned for. We can eliminate disagreements amongst your heirs. We just avoid them up from the outset from ever even happening. Provide for business succession and essentially create a continuity for asset management. These are just a sampling, but significant benefits from having a comprehensive estate plan. So the most basic component, I'm going to go through some of the big, I guess, rocks of a comprehensive estate plan. What are the things that people should seriously consider having? Obviously, a last will and testament is probably the most widely recognized component of an estate plan. And this is simply a set of instructions that govern the distribution of your property that takes effect upon your passing. However, what a lot of people don't understand is that a will requires probate. While it is a signed document setting forth your instructions, it has no authority until a probate estate is opened with the probate court and your will is admitted for administration. A lot of people don't realize that. However, used in conjunction with a trust, it can serve as a very valid safety net. So what is probate? Why do we want to avoid it? Probate is basically a court supervised process that transfers title of your assets to your heirs upon your passing. It is essentially the procedure and the process through which our heirs inherit our money, our wealth, our real estate, our assets. It, however, can be expensive. It certainly is time consuming. It's quite cumbersome. It is completely open to the public. In fact, there are marketing companies that literally hawk and watch for filings. Your heirs will get junk mail quite literally for the rest of their life. But it will also expose your estate to certain unnecessary costs and creditor claims, including potential Medicaid or hospital bills or other reimbursement claims, all of which can be avoided because probate can be completely avoided. So how do we avoid probate? Well, many times we can utilize a revocable living trust. And so let's switch into the next slide, if you would, provides a opportunity to create what I like to describe a revocable living trust, a box. It's you setting up a box so that when you pass away, all of your assets go directly into this box, this trust. By doing so, it completely avoids probate. A trust is simply a set of instructions to care for you and your family during your lifetime and during any incapacity and after your death. All assets are transferred into your trust, and if they do, then they will not go through probate. Of course, your trust has to be properly funded with all your applicable assets, but that is in step with what we do. We draft your estate plan, we execute your estate plan, and we make sure at the time it is properly funded. So the benefits of a trust. First of all, it allows you to maintain total control over your assets and your estate for the remainder of your life and your spouse's life as well if you're married. It allows you to avoid probate of all your assets in your trust. You can reduce and eliminate your estate, certain income taxes, transfer taxes. We can protect your spouse, your children, even grandchildren. We can protect assets and inheritance from certain creditors. We can plan for the disability and special needs of any of your children, grandchildren, and many times today we're doing estate plans for great-grandchildren. So that's pretty cool. But we can prevent delays that are common to probate. The beautiful thing about a trust is immediately accessible to be administered. Whereas for probate, very often there can be significant delays even to begin. And then once it's begun, there are certain time constraints the probate court puts on the ability to do certain things, what can be done, how much can be done. Trusts have no such limitations. We can reduce disagreements or eliminate disagreements from any heirs from ever even occurring. Continuity for your asset management, provide for your minor children and grandchildren, and of course, business owners or owners that have significant assets, it can provide significant succession and probate asset planning to avoid all of that. What is the difference? If you look at the next slide, a revocable trust avoids probate. So if you have to probate your estate through a will or without anybody who doesn't have a will or any estate plan, your property essentially has to go through the authority of the probate court and all of the procedures therein, which can include filing fees, creditors' claims, taxes, inventory fees, attorney's fees, certifications, publications. It typically takes about 2 months to begin, about 6 months minimum to probate and go through the process. Many can be open for over a year, and this is if there are no complications, no disagreements, and no creditor claims. All of that adds to the length, the duration, the delay, and the expense. And ultimately, then it finally gets to the heirs. Whereas a revocable living trust, on the other hand, your property upon your passing, the way we fund it, automatically goes into your trust with perhaps a few documents that need to be filed or recorded or submitted. Just advise the owners and the managers that's where it is. Immediately goes into the trust, and without any of those delays, any of those expenses, it can automatically and immediately be administered to the heirs. This can be obviously significant when you think about it. And so a revocable living trust, very often, regardless of the size of someone's estate, regardless of the assets they have, even if they're just talking about their house or a bank account or retirement account, you can see how the immediate and automatic access to these assets is so important versus a delay of 7, 8, 9, even 12 months to do in probate. Some of the other documents that we include or that people should be aware are available to them is, for example, a durable power of attorney for financial and property matters. A lot of people know estate planning to be what happens when I die. But a lot of people don't realize estate planning also includes, well, what happens if I don't? Well, what does that mean? Well, what happens if before I pass, I'm suffering some type of injury or illness or incapacity, whereas I can no longer handle my own financial affairs, sign certain documents, file tax returns, the things we take for granted every day. If all of a sudden we can't do them, now what? Well, a durable power of attorney for financial matters becomes incredibly important. This is a legal document that allows you to choose and designate the person you want as your fiduciary to make those financial decisions on your behalf and to carry out those actions that you would normally do, but you cannot. You authorize a person to handle your day-to-day financial and property affairs so that you are protected in the event this happens. This document alone can avoid the need of a conservatorship proceeding in the probate court, which is very often expensive, time-consuming, and does very often result in a court-appointed fiduciary, somebody you don't know, you don't want, and now you're paying them to do these things that someone you should choose to do. A conservator, in my opinion, is very often one of the worst probate proceedings that somebody has to go through, and it can absolutely be avoided with simple planning. Another one, very similar to the last, but for a completely different reason, is a durable power of attorney for healthcare, or what some people refer to as a medical power of attorney or patient advocate designation. Very often we see 4 and even 5 different documents to make up what one single integrated document should do. Our powers of attorney for healthcare at Abraham Law are all encompassing. And these are very specific documents to allow you to designate another person, someone you choose and trust, to make decisions regarding your medical, your healthcare, your residence care in the event you become unable to do so yourself. We integrate the important HIPAA authorizations therein, so your agent has immediate access to be able to discuss with your medical professionals and caregivers that many people may have immediately to be able to make the right decisions for you. These documents include living will language or advanced directive language with regards to extraordinary or life-sustaining treatment as well. So these are unequivocally ready to go and all-encompassing for the decisions that need to be made, very often for people who are admitted into the hospital and can't make these decisions themselves. These documents also, like the other one, can avoid a conservatorship. These very often will avoid the need of a guardianship proceeding. You are immediately appointing somebody you know and love and trust to do that for you, versus risking a probate court making these decisions for you. A lot of times I get questions about, well, what about my house? How do I make sure my house does not go through probate and yet gets to the people I want it to? there's a tool that very often on the street or a slang, people call it a ladybird deed. And very often people have heard of it, but don't know what it is. Well, after today, you're going to know. First of all, it's actually called an enhanced life estate deed. The pet name is ladybird deed, but an enhanced life estate deed is an extraordinary tool that we use all the time, especially when used in conjunction with a trust. And here's why it's so special. First of all, if a husband and wife own their home, this type of a deed preserves their ownership as tenants by the entirety, which has significant asset protection and succession planning characteristics. We never want to spoil that or undo it. This deed preserves it. It also preserves the primary residence homestead exemption, and it also further exempts it from many of the state or federal benefits programs like Social Security Disability, Medicaid. They typically exempt your primary residence under certain circumstances. This deed is designed to preserve that exemption and keep the home in their names. When it's used in conjunction with a trust, it seamlessly and automatically transfers your home into the trust. And we can use this for any real estate, up north cottages, down south vacation homes, or in Michigan hunting properties, whatever you might have. All of that can be placed into a trust by virtue of this type of a deed, which allows you to completely avoid probate for these significant assets. The advantage is you totally have the control and customization for your wishes and your intentions. It can also be used to convey directly to beneficiary, but in that situation, we really want to make sure you carefully consider the impact, because a lot of times if something happens, we have to undo it or change it. And if you're unable to, it's very difficult. But used with a trust, we can typically avoid those risks. Now, getting to the heart of it, I just threw a whole lot of information at you. I hope I explained a little bit. I hope I answered a lot of questions. But the $1 million question really is, what do I do? How do I begin? Where do I begin? And it's simple as starting the conversation, asking the right questions of the right people. First of all, the fact that you're plugging into this Kudos community is significant, because you've already identified one of the hardest things in the world to do, which is find a source for good information. Clearly with Liz and Kudos, you have that. And she's bringing more and more reliable sources of information, getting answers to questions so you can reach out and you can get those. And that's really when it begins. Based upon your family, your assets, how do you protect yourself, your spouse, and your children? It's as simple as asking that. When was the last time you reviewed the beneficiaries on your bank accounts, retirement accounts, life insurance, IRAs? That would be a good place to start. Based on your financial plan, if you're going to leave substantial assets, what is the best way to do that? What happens to this money when I pass away? Do you have any unique concerns, like things for a business or special needs child or grandchildren? I just did an entire estate plan this morning, sat down with my client. She has 2 grandchildren who are special needs and are on full benefits programs. They absolutely cannot inherit directly anything. And she has a sizable estate that she wanted to provide in trust for these kids. It was easy to do so, clear to do so, and ensure that we did so the right way. So their benefits eligibility was protected, but her wishes to give to her grandchildren were preserved. And so it's very simple to do. You just got to ask the right question. If you have an estate plan, great question is, are my current documents up to date? We do a lot of review of documents. We are happy to review people's estate plan. And again, all of our initial consultations are at no expense. We don't charge anything unless you hire us to do something. Because again, we're very passionate about making sure people get answers to their questions and have their documents reviewed or put in place. So again, the advantage you have through us, we believe in empowering people to secure their future. It's as simple as planning today to protect tomorrow. It's no more complicated than that. And so we've been doing it for over 70 years through my father, myself. My father actually still practices in the summertime. He's a little bit of a snowbird. He'll be returning here in the next month or so, which I'm looking forward to. but we provide personalized consultations. We want to talk to you, get the information that you have unique to you, so we can provide very specific answers to questions. We don't want to throw generalities at you. We want to be able to give you the very specific plan that you need based on the puzzle pieces of your life. We are education centric, meaning we love to explain. Our goal is when we're finished, that our clients walk out of here, they know what they have and why they have it. It's very important for you to understand what you need and then why you have what you have. It makes us better lawyers because you're better clients. And then we do comprehensive portfolio. We literally have everything you need, A to Z. We don't leave anything out. We're going to make sure that every I is dotted, every T is crossed, every box is checked. So when you walk out of here, there's quite literally nothing else you need. That's the difference that we make. And it's really as simple as setting up an appointment. Give us a call, visit our website, startmyestateplan.com, and book an appointment. Crystal's actually on standby if you want to call our number, 810-750-0440. Crystal will be answering the phone. We're happy to set up an appointment. Bring any paperwork you have, answer any questions you have. There's no obligation, there's no expense. We just want to make sure you get the answers to the questions that everybody really should have. And again, it doesn't need to be any more complicated than people make it. We keep it very simple. We speak in layman's terms. We're not going to throw big vocabulary at you. We want you to know what you do, what you have, and what you need. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Liz. And again, Liz, thanks so much. Again, I'm going to reiterate, we love our partnership. We've made some great progress. We've reached a lot of people through Liz and her connections and Kudos, and just love the format. It's such a great publication, and I've had good feedback from our clients that they enjoy it. So again, Liz, thanks a ton. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate those accolades from you. And also you coming out here and sharing this information. Just a great big thank you and kudos to you and to Crystal. Tell Crystal thank you for all the help. All of this is possible because everybody, including Matt, coming out here, donating their time to share knowledge with our community. And it is just a complete honor to have you here. So great big kudos to you. Thank you,
Thanks,
Matt.
Liz.
And we will be seeing you again on the flip side. But for now, we're going to get ready to transition into some other information. One of the reasons why I had hoped Matt would start off this whole workshop is because I found through my personal caregiving journey, this was the piece right here that was missing, that caused me a lot of pain, mentally, emotionally, financially, in every kind of aspect. It could have been avoided. And in fact, this is really important, you guys. I want you to hear me. If you think that you have a will and you are covered, you're incorrect. And this is something that a lot of seniors especially think, my will is done, I'm covered. And hopefully, after listening to the knowledge from an estate attorney, not a random person that's working at wherever and they Googled it or they heard, an estate attorney, he's telling you, you've got to have these things like a trust and all these other documents. So take the time, go do the consultation. Do not let fear hold you back from saying, let me investigate this. Sometimes we get caught into fear of it's going to cost too much, it's going to take too much. It doesn't. Fear is what's going to take from you. So go take time. Prepare for your family, get the documents in place. You can call Abraham Law in Fenton and they will take great care of you. But coming up next, we've got to talk about something else that ties into being organized. If your loved one's sick, well, then the next thing happens, they're sick and you end up with this huge amount of information that you've never heard of with medical care, terminology that's in Latin. Let me see if you can even remember like 5 medications that may be new for a loved one. It is overwhelming. Combining that with the stress of trying to care for them and that emotional part, I can tell you personally, your brain's not working completely and you think maybe it is. There's things that you're missing. So today I have a very special guest that I'm going to be sharing with you, Dr. Robert Bouvier, right from Grand Blanc, Michigan. And he has 3 decades of experience as a healthcare provider, but he also is really, truly passionate about his clients. And he is taking a new approach to one, empower patients and their family, but also to create other opportunities so caregivers and family have access to other forms of care and a shift in their mindset on how they handle their wellness. So, with that being said, with no further ado, I'm so excited to introduce you to the fabulous Dr. Robert Bouvier.
Thank you very much, Liz. Appreciate that. Matthew, I got to tell you, that was a fabulous presentation. People need to be listening to that because from my end of the deal, when people are living and they're going to experience death here shortly, it's over for them from a health standpoint. They don't have to worry about it anymore. However, when somebody has to live with debt, live with problems, live with issues that could have been literally easily taken care of just by talking to somebody like yourself. I mean, kudos to you, no pun intended, Liz, but Matthew, great job. Everybody who's living, breathing, eating food should listen to this lecture you got and do that free consultation with you. It'll lower their stress and lower your stress, live longer, right?
Excellent. Thank you.
So Liz asked me to talk about guide to medical tracking. And I kind of said, what does medical tracking mean? That sounded like some layman term, and it is. And it's a great word, by the way. And people misunderstand that. So I'm going to clear up some of those things. And kudos to Brady Events and Liz and for Shana, the work that you do on this magazine and the work that you do in these podcasts. Excellent information. I'd recommend it to anybody. So today it's all about living longer as you're living healthier, right? So let's thrive and not just survive. That's what the advertisement showed. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks and a call to action on how to accomplish that. Certainly take in to what Matthew was saying about the legal aspects and get that straightened out. And the rest of your living will be a lot less stress-free, okay? So I want you to take charge of your healthcare, but as a caregiver, you have to take charge of somebody else's healthcare. And this podcast we're going to go over a lot of those pieces. So why should we worry about it? We're the biggest, strongest nation in the world. However, the reality of where we are in the USA right today is that we're number 64th of 200 plus countries, unhealthiest country in the world. Let me say that again. Let me let that settle in you. We spend more money than anybody else on healthcare, but we're number 64th unhealthiest country of 200 plus countries in our world. That shouldn't be that. We should be in the top 10. And let's all collectively get together and make that happen. There are some blue zones out there in the world, and those blue zones where people live well into 100. And right now we've got people that 30+% of their population is over 100, and they are thriving, working, et cetera, et cetera. I want to be one of those people and be able to help people and serve people as we go throughout the years. We spend more than anybody else in the world, but we also are the unhealthiest. So the obesity, the things that go along with it, the diabetes, the high blood pressure, the stroke, heart attack, cancer, all the stuff that we're talking about, it's out of control in our country. And we are on a beeline going for that. Thank you, Kudos, Brady Events, Liz, Shana, for bringing up that information on how important that is and what our individual work can be done to actually do that. So let me jump right into it. Take charge of your healthcare and your loved one's healthcare. That's what we're talking about here, caregiving for the caregiver. So why do that? Well, nobody else is going to do it if you don't do it. So you need to take charge of yourself. Don't assume that the doctors and the hospitals are taking care of you. They are not. They are there to take care of when you're sick. That's called sick care. That's what insurance care is all about. It's like your car insurance. Your car insurance is for when your car crashes. It's not for when you change the color, change the oil, all the other things. What we're talking about here is how to go beyond insurance care or sick care, which we do fairly good here in the United States. I'm talking about our true health care. So what is good, better, best healthcare? And we're going to be talking about that as we go through here. But don't expect your doctor to communicate or the hospitals to communicate with each other to help you get what you need. You have to create this presence and this atmosphere. And we're going to show you how to do that. And it starts with having a simple 3-ring binder with 8 dividers. I call it affectionately the book, but basically it's a personal health record that helps you put everything that you've had and do, your medication list, and makes it available to you. So what about your primary care doctor? Is your primary care doctor going to communicate and let people know what's going on? Well, I can tell you that I'm a past ICU ER doctor, and we tried to communicate well with primary care doctors who didn't come to the hospital, but we really weren't very good at it. And now, as a primary care doctor for the last 15, 20 years, not going to the hospital, I can tell you half the time I don't even know somebody's in the hospital. And that becomes a very big problem when we're trying to communicate what's going on. So don't expect your primary care doctor to communicate with the other doctors. Also, your insurance care, think about health insurance. Health insurance is really all about sick care. It's not about health care. Okay. It's sick care. It's your car insurance, what we were talking about before. So don't expect your health insurance people to take care of your true health care. So how do you define true health care? In fact, how do you make it affordable? And what's the difference between good, better, and best health care? Let me give you an example. Women should be doing self-breast examination, should be getting a mammogram. Insurance care says you only need it every 2 years. Well, you probably need some sort of imaging on a yearly basis. And if you get cancer on 0 day, the mammogram and ultrasounds turn positive 10 years later, 9 to 13 years later, they turn positive. 10 years, you have the breast cancer and you don't even know it. Mammogram ultrasound won't turn positive. That's insurance care. Good health care would say, how about we do an MRI of the breast, which is diagnostic between the first and third year of getting the breast cancer. Much better, much more important, very good screening device, but that's good health care. Insurance doesn't pay for that. See the difference? Insurance does not pay for that. So I want you to really understand and how to use the technology the way it was intended. I call it UTI. UTI, it's not urinary tract infection, it's using technology the way it was intended, okay? With AI coming up, we have such a huge opportunity to take advantage of that. What's interesting, I pulled this out just a second ago. This is a 3-ring binder with 8 dividers. I've used this thousands of times. 200 plus of my patients go south to Arizona and Florida. They bring their book with them, and it's full of their personal health record, okay? Place for their vital signs, place for their general information, what their doctor's office fax number, what their other doctors are names, and probably the most important thing, which gets screwed up everywhere we go, is this page right here. Learn how to take this page, and you'll be able to take this, go to askdrbouvier.com, and you'll be able to print this off, this whole booklet off, and explain to you how to use it. I also have the YouTube channel, Dr. and You, that will explain again how to use this book in more detail. So I definitely go there. But medications are something that we screw up routinely. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. Every 30 years ago, I did a study. I took every discharged patient from the 3 hospitals here locally, and I also checked over 60 other hospitals across the United States in 30 different states. 94% of the discharged people had major medication errors at discharge. So what's a major medication error? This drug that they gave me, it's brand new, it's not on formulary, I got to get a prior auth, it's delayed taking it for 3 days or a week or 2. Who do I talk to? I go to my primary care doctor. He didn't even know I was in the hospital. The list goes on and on. One of the biggest reasons why there's a 94% major medication error rate for every discharged patient coming out of the hospital, because I repeated that 10 years ago, and I'm about ready to repeat it again. I am sure, and after I interviewed numerous ER doctors and nurses and discharge planners, still we have a major problem with medication errors at discharge. Why is that? 50% of the people who come into the hospital to begin with don't even know what medications they're on, or they're on an old list, or the hospital has an old list. I've got 3 people in the hospital right now that are struggling through this, that are brand new patients. I just inherited them, and they had their medications wrong before going into the hospital. That's 3 out of 3. It's a huge problem in the United States. This sheet is an old way we used to do it. All doctors and nurses know how to use it. It's a medication sheet that over time you evolve this. In fact, you get 2 years of medications on one sheet. And I think it's important that everybody learn how to do that. It's too much to explain it totally here today, but go to the askdrbouvier.com and you'll get a better explanation of how to build this book. So what else is in the book? A place for x-rays, a place for lab work, a place for procedures that are being done, consultations, your insurance information. It all goes in the book. And I can tell you, there's not a week that goes by in my practice where I don't have some ER doctor call me and say, hey, can I use that concept of that book? Your patient brought it in, and everything was in there that I needed. I knew what the past labs were, what x-rays were done. I knew what I had to do. So anyway, everybody take a good look at that as to how that works out. So many of my patients will say to me, and I have to go explain to them, if my insurance doesn't pay for it, I don't want it. I want you to understand, 15% of the treatments available, this is really important, take a good listen, 15% of the treatments that are available out there are traditional healthcare. So all the medications, all the diagnostic x-rays, all the therapeutic x-rays, all of the surgeries, everything we do in traditional medicine is only 15% of the available treatments out there. So what are the other treatments? Chiropractic, acupuncture, traditional Chinese medicine, homeopathic, just a naturopathic. There's tons of different therapies out there. I'm not saying that I all trust them, but many of them, if you're not utilizing them, you're missing the boat. Let me give an example. Shingles, for example. People don't know what shingles is. A lot of people have had it. Had a patient the other day. I called my personal doctor, who's an acupuncturist and traditional Chinese medicine. I said, hey, this patient just came down with shingles. Can you help her? And she said, absolutely. I got it within 12 hours of her symptoms. We got her to the acupuncturist. By that night, all the symptoms were gone. They didn't come back. I saw a patient yesterday. She's had shingles now for about 4 or 5 days. She came to me later, and she's well in her treatment, and all she wanted is the traditional medicine treatment. So we gave her the cream, we gave her the pills, and she's going to be struggling through this probably for 3 weeks with the derm issues, and then she also has to worry about the pain that's associated with it. The bottom line here in shingles is, if you catch it early enough, go to your traditional Chinese medicine expert, and you'll get through this a lot quicker. Same thing with vertigo. I had a vertigo episode about 3 weeks ago. I could barely get out of bed. I went to my acupuncturist. I was about 25% better. I went to my chiropractor. I was about 50% better. I went to my traditional medicine ear, nose, and throat doctor, and I was 75% better after he had the right diagnostic Epley test and the therapeutic test. And he was able to get me to nearly 75% better by noon. Well, actually by 2 o'clock that day. The following day, I followed up with my acupuncturist, and I haven't had vertigo since. 100%, none of the complications. And I used a blending of traditional medicine with complementary medicine or alternative medicine. Okay. I blended the chiropractor, the acupuncture, the traditional Chinese medicine, the ear, nose, and throat specialist, my primary care. And voila, within literally hours, it was gone. It hasn't come back since. And I've experienced this as a practitioner for years and years and years. And people ask me, well, Dr. Bouvier, you're a traditional Chinese, or you're a traditional doctor. I said, yeah, and that's really what I practice. But I entertain and I know what has worked in the past in other worlds, in other types of medicine. People ask me, well, doctor, who's your primary care doctor? My primary care doctor is a traditional Chinese medicine acupuncturist. She had 20 years as a physical therapist and just absolutely great. It was pretty interesting to see how well things have worked out with her over the years. Don't get me wrong, traditional medicine is what I practice. People come to me and say, Doc, if it's not my insurance plan, I don't want it. And I understand where they're coming from. Not really, but there's something more. We don't use what's out there, and we've got some great practitioners here in our state, in our area, from acupuncture, chiropractic, naturopathic, homeopathic. I mean, just absolutely great. And you ought to listen to Shayna, because she's got some really great wellness information. We have a local expert in her. You should be listening to her podcast. She knows that is shameless plug for you. It's important. They do a good job. So let me talk to you a little bit more about what I call the 4 pillars of health. And I stole this. It's actually Johns Hopkins University came from this. This is also on Ask Dr. Bob or AskDrBouvier.com. Johns Hopkins came up with this. Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, pretty much the whole business of medicine has pretty much said, okay, you should be doing to live long and healthy, live healthy as you're living longer. These are the 4 pillars of healthcare. Now, if you notice, nutrition is number 1. You got to eat right. You can't expect to feed this temple of yours junk. And I'm not talking about other things. I'm talking about just good food, protein, carbohydrate, and fats. Just very, very important. The other one is physical activity. I know it's a 4-letter word called exercise. However, if you guys can hear in the background, that's my dog talking to me. I'm not sure what's going on there, but Willow's a great gal. So physical activity is very important. As now, I'm later on 60 plus, actually 70. But the best exercise that I can do at my age is hold on this second. The best and safest exercise I can do is Tai Chi, chair Tai Chi. And I can get my whole aerobic exercises from that. It's up and down. While my wife's exercising the bicycle, I'm working on chair Tai Chi. That's the second thing. Sleep is the third thing. 4 pillars of healthcare, and one of them is sleep. I can't tell you how important that sleep-wake cycle is to people. This sheet is very important. If you're having trouble with sleep, go get it fixed. It's so easy to take care of, and you need that good sleep-wake cycle. It's very, very important. Behavioral health is the other one, the mental health. How you handle things, how you handle stress, what it does for you. It's just so important. What Matthew was talking about with Abraham Law earlier, you can lower your stress, you can improve your behavior health and your mental health dramatically if you prepare correctly. And what Abraham Law does is help you prepare correctly. So I'd really, really push that. The other healthy things that I've organized, you got the personal health record in the book. You've got, the 4 pillars of health. If you're not getting the diet and exercise right, let me back up just 1 second. The best diet in the world, the absolute hands down best diet for diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol, everything is the Mediterranean diet. Finally, in 2019, traditional medicine finally got it right. Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic now is promoting the Mediterranean diet, not just for healthy living, but also as a perfect diabetic diet, weight loss diet, for longevity, for healthy living, period, is the Mediterranean diet. Buy yourself a book. It's really easy. There is something in the Mediterranean diet for everybody. Okay. I've got about 5 minutes here, so I want to go into a couple other things. You should have a what if kit. A what if kit is just a first aid kit. Any medications that you've had in the past. I just had a lady this morning She had a urinary tract infection, and she landed in the hospital because of it. In her what if kit, and this was way back, and since then we've been able to stay right on top of it with her. But we get people who die from just a simple urinary tract infection. Okay. We looked back in the past, and she said, I think I like Bactrim better. But when I looked in her notes, she actually had a drug called nitrofurantoin that worked better. And so we gave her nitrofurantoin, and she was well into looking at the hospitalization in the next day or two if she didn't get this taken care of. So we hit her hard with the shot. But she actually thought that this Bactrim was better. But in her what if kit, there are medications there called nitrofurantoin that she uses if she gets a urinary tract infection. Now, this gal travels all over the world, and she takes this what if kit with her everywhere. She'll call me from Singapore. She'll call me from Brazil. She'll call me from Europe. And she's got everything in that what if kit of things that she's had in the past, and it keeps her going. And we've got things ready. I mean, what do you do on Saturday night at 9:00 when you come down with something? Well, if you're not ready, we just went through COVID. We get people with COVID or influenza or other sicknesses. How do you tell the difference? Well, we've got Walgreens and other people that can do rapid testing, and we've got specific treatments now that work very, very good with depending on what the issue is. So if you come down with that fever or chills, go to Walgreens, get that kit done, or have it in your what if kit. And what if you come down with something, right? So where and who should do this? Well, it's pretty easy. Everybody should be taking care of themselves, living healthier, following the 4 pillars, should have a book. Okay. So anybody that's living at home, probably teenagers and less, your mother's probably going to take care of things. So mothers, listen up. I want you to do this for every one of your kids. My mother's 93 plus years old. She's motivation for me. She used to be able to do 100 squats every day. She had a medical issue go on and fractured her shoulder, other things. She's now reset her goal. She's up to 35 squats now, and she wants to get that back up to 100. And I think that's really, really important. So let's keep that going. So if you want to make a deeper dive into healthcare, communications, and relationships, there's a couple of books. The 5 Love Languages understands about relationships, and that's part of the 4 pillars of health. The 4 pillars of health is the behavior part of your health, but it's understanding your spouse and other people in relationships. And the book, The 5 Love Languages, is absolutely excellent. Liz, if you could put that up there you go. This is my book from years and years ago. It's a leather bound version of that book that's up on the screen right now, but it's packed full of information about how to get along with people. Hello, Bride. There's another book that just came out in 2026. It goes along with the 5 Love Languages. It's a condemnum for the 5 Love Languages. I strongly encourage you to buy these 2 books. Read the first one if you don't know. Many of you already know about the 5 Love Languages that came out in 1991, I think. Now they've come out with the second one. I would strongly get that book and review it. There's another set of tapes that I think you should buy and understand. It's called DISC, D-I-S-E, Understanding People and Yourself and Others and How You Deal with Others. Business people, absolutely important that you organize your personality inventory with this thing called the DISC. Liz, if you could put that back up, the DISC up there, and show that to people as well. It's a wonderful, DISC is a wonderful way to understand yourself and how to deal with people. I'm a let's go have fun person. My mother is a detail person, and if I don't give her the details, man, it's hell to pay. And I've had a previous partner that liked to have gifts. When the drug reps came in, I used to grab a bunch of his pins. I used to give him a gift, and he loved it. I've got 7 kids, and whenever I came home, I had to spend special time with my son, because that's what his love language was. My daughter wanted to have quality time as well. My son just wanted an attaboy, pat on the back. I mean, it's really important that you're giving people what they want. And let me tell you the difference between the platinum rule and the golden rule. The golden rule says, treat everybody like you would want to be treated. Well, if you do that, you're going to lose it 80% of the time, because there's 5 love languages. And if you're treating everybody like you want to be treated, that's selfish. You lose it 80% of the time. Use the platinum rule and treat people the way they want to be treated. And I see this in healthcare all the time. These relationships that fail, people don't get that part. That's why this book, The 5 Love Languages, is so good. So longevity, and I think we're about done here in about 4 more minutes, and we'll take off on the other one. This book right here, whoops, upside down. Sorry about that. My wife and I were reviewing this book, and this Peter Attia, if you're wanting to learn about longevity and healthy living, this guy he totally gets it about longevity. He has a podcast. I strongly recommend it. Great book. It's fairly thick. It really doesn't meet my criteria. I like half an inch, large print, a lot of pictures, but I sacrifice that. This book is absolutely great. What's interesting, my sister who lives in Montana sent this book to me because she thought I could really use it. It was absolutely excellent. We were already reading it. And so my sister, she's a psychologist and counselor in Montana, well-written, writes books. I mean, she's a totally smart girl. And she recommends a book to read, do it. You want to live longer, you want to live healthier while you're living longer, this is the book. So what are the other things, trying to wrap this up a little bit, what are the other things that we can do to help us live longer, right? What are some of the other things? Start now, but what are the other things that we can do to help live longer and healthier? Well, we already went through the 4 pillars of healthcare, and I need you to review that information. It's really, really important. What other resources can people use and on diet and exercise? Let me get real specific with that. We go on trips and we bring our own food with us. We have a freeze dryer where we freeze dry food, and I'm really spoiled because my daughter's a chef, and she'll freeze dry food, and we've got enough to go for quite some time. And we bring it up with us, and we save a ton of money, and the food is absolutely fabulous because we rehydrate it, and she is a great cook, and it's a wonderful way to do it. You should, for me, I've got asthma, notice a little cough. I've got my filter turned off, but we have a high rate of dust here going on now in Michigan. And we have an air filter, 3 of them in our furnace. I would recommend you get with your furnace people and really test your air and make sure that it's okay. Now, regarding water, really get your water tested. I've got 5 filters on my home water filter. I think it's really important that people do something and really get their water checked out. Life is a good water purifying system. There's just some really good things that you can do to help with that. So get to know some of these trusted people, some of these trusted things. Get to know who in your area does good acupuncture, traditional Chinese medicine, chiropractic, naturopathic, homeopathic. Start on your book. Go to the AskDrBouvier.com and put yourself together a book and try to understand how to put that book together. It's going to help you in the future. Learn how to live healthier. Know what the 4 pillars of healthcare are. Use your freeze dryer. If you don't have one, they're a little pricey, but I guarantee you will save money in the end. People throw away, we as Americans throw away a lot of food, but the freeze dryer will help lock in 98% of the freshness and taste. Absolutely great piece. So again, if you have any questions about what's going on, if you've got a burning question, go to AskDrBouvier.com, submit a question, make a referral, and we'll try to answer those questions for you in one of our YouTube podcasts or one of our YouTube informational setups. If you've got a question on the importance of law and how to prepare financially, I definitely, Abraham Law has helped a lot of my patients or people like him. Just go do it, get it done, because you just don't know. I'm working through 2 families right now that have lost loved ones. They were not prepared, and they've got, I guarantee you, 2 to 3 years of trial and tribulation that's going to cause problems in their family. I've got one family who's totally prepared. They just finished with their probate experience. It was a month long. Through it without a hitch, and everything was dispersed. This is millions of dollars in this family's setup, and it was just a great thing to see how going through the not having to go through the legal battles was really great, and Abraham Law can help you take care of that. Liz, is there anything else that you would like, anything answered or anything you'd like to promote or anything you want to add to here?
Yeah, that was actually some great information. Thank you so much, Dr. Bob. I think that it is so incredibly powerful when you were mentioning about showing love and approaching people the way that they understand and can communicate. This is so detrimental from our personal lives to even professional lives. But as we become caregivers and we're dealing with serious matters for either ourselves or loved ones, understanding how to communicate can bring more peace, clarity, and better understanding. So it's key. And it goes back to the book that you have for tracking all of these records. It's another form of communication, and you've figured out, okay, well, this is how the medical people need to communicate, so let's do this, but keep it simple for patients and their loved ones to be able to understand. And that is empowering form of healthcare. So I want to say a great big kudos to you, Dr. Bob, for coming out and sharing all of your knowledge with us. It empowers people. And one of the things that I really enjoy about being in your presence is you have an approachable aura to you. So I can see patients feeling comfortable saying, like, look, I have this issue. And so often we either have lack of words or we have walls that we've built to protect ourselves. And sometimes that can hurt us. So I think what you shared today could literally be a game changer. And I hope all of you take some time, listen to the advice that he's sharing. He gave you 3 different books that you can use that could completely transform your life. So pick up one today. Take a look at it. And even with the binder, I think actually he gave you 5 different books, but even with the binder, you don't even have to go buy a book. You just get a 3-ring binder. And I believe Dr. Bouvier is going to give us access to this template that you can use for the books, for like organizing the books. It's a digital download, and we'll have that available later at kudoscaregiver.com. If you go register, you can get it and you'll download it right there on that page. But I want to encourage you to reach out to them also. If you're looking for some support for your healthcare, you are taking local patients. You're here in Grand Blanc, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me pull up this little slide here. I think we've got here's your contact information. So he has a new website, askdrbouvier.com. He's going to be doing some incredible content that's focused on families and longevity. One of the things, really quick, and I know we got to get over to our next guest speaker, but you're going to be opening up a new section into your practice that's focusing on things that could be really helpful to caregivers, including red light therapy, V fusion, in mode, a little bit of that. Do you want to tell us about that?
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Let's face it, our food chain is deficient. And a lot of people come to me and says, how do I live longer and healthier and feel better? And an IV therapy just has 20 different vitamins and minerals and peptides and different things that our body is craving, like NAD, NAC, glutathione, alpha lipoic acid, all these things that we're lacking in our diets and in the food chain right now can be filled with IV therapy. And that just really helps people feel better helps them fulfill the 4 pillars of healthcare, or pillars of health. Just really, really important. And then the aesthetics. Sometimes people learn about plastic surgery and they're looking for healing from the outside in. Well, we tell people you need to heal from the inside out. And then for people who want to help with wrinkles and things like that, we've got a solution for them as well. Thank you, Liz, for everything you do. We appreciate you. We are offering aesthetics for people who want help with the wrinkles, sagging faces, stretch lines, legs around the knees. I mean, just the neck, aesthetic treatments for people. And it's pretty simple. We've been doing this stuff for over 30 years, just that we're making it more of an obvious push for marketing that.
Yeah, and he's being a little bit humble. Dr. Bob is bringing in some state-of-the-art equipment here to Genesee County, and it's going to be a game changer, especially caregivers. If you're feeling wore out, stretched out, or look wore out, come check out what he's going to be bringing to Grand Blanc. I think it's this May. So it's an honor to have you here doing that in our community, because one of the things that you're pushing for, you call it a blue zone, right? Where it's about people living longer. If you can just touch on that real quick, and then we got to get to the next speaker.
This is near and dear to my heart, Liz. The blue zones there's those areas across the world where a lot of the population live well into their 100 years old, and not just live, but I'm talking about thriving, exercising, living, just engaging life still at over 100 years old. And I've set up a challenge for the leadership, for the hospitals, for the mayor, everybody involved, the financial people, the legal people, everybody say, okay, let's make Flint, Michigan, Genesee County, Grand Blanc, Fenton, surrounding areas, North Oakland County, let's turn them into a blue zone. Let's teach people how to live healthier, live longer, live well into their hundreds, and thrive, not just live, but thrive.
And I think
And
that's the key
I
thing.
challenge
If you're
them to
feeling
become a
good,
blue zone in our area.
all right, I'm ready. I'm ready. So, on to that, I want to say a great big kudos to you for thinking big. Blue zone, healthy zone. We'll take it right here in mid Michigan, across the whole country. So, Dr. Bob, thank you so much for coming out, sharing your expertise with us. And we hope to have you come back again and tell more about the blue zone. That would be great. All right. Have a great day. So, for all of you watching, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us. These are all professionals that have worked in their niche for decades, and they've volunteered. All of them have volunteered their time to come and share knowledge with you. They have not said anything other than, I want to give the best knowledge to my community because I know it can help and be a game changer. So if you haven't registered for this workshop, just go to kudoscaregiver.com. It's free. It costs you nothing. You'll get access to this replay, plus other resources that will be dropping in there for you, because we want to help you feel empowered and ready to really make this journey something that you can thrive in and not just struggle to survive in. So our next speaker that we have is Kathy Felix. She is from Abbey Park in Grand Blanc, and she truly is going to show a story that's a testimony of overcoming the first part of life and then jumping into the second part that's full of new opportunities and ventures maybe we didn't think of. And one of the things that I really do love about Abbey Park is senior living and independence. A lot of people get confused and think senior living is a nursing home, and it's not. It's just not the same thing. So today she's going to share some of this insight with you. If you take a minute, know someone that maybe is a senior who's living alone, who's a little lonely, or a couple that needs a little bit of extra help, you want to share this video with them right now. It costs you nothing. Just click the share button. Let them know, hey, this is a good story that can put you in a direction of where the next chapter goes. So with that being said, love to introduce to you Kathy Felix and Anita from Abbey
Oh,
Park. Welcome.
thank you. Thank you so much, Liz. And I'm so thankful to be part of this, what I call a dream team. everybody that is involved in this Caring for the Caregiver conference today. I am here with my friend Anita here at Abbey Park. We happen to be in Anita's apartment. She lives in a beautiful 880 square foot apartment that she has beautifully furnished. She moved here with her husband, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But once again, I'm Kathy Felix. I'm the administrator here at Abbey Park Grand Blanc. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, all of you who are participating and watching. And thank you, Jenna, my camera person. You can't see her, but she's just beautiful and adorable. And it's easy to talk when you sit here and look at her smile. So I want to start with introducing Anita. And we've been sitting here waiting for Dr. Bouvier to finish his appropriately length talk, but it's a little nerve-wracking, especially for Anita, because I've asked her, I've put her on the spot, and because I'm going through this with my parents, and so many couples go through this, when one or the other of a married couple becomes ill and they need to receive some care, it does put strain on the caregiver, which is the healthier one. So Anita, why don't you tell us what brought you to Abbey Park initially with your husband?
Well, my husband, Jerry, was beginning to deteriorate in being mobile. And so he eventually, after about over a year and a half, he became bedbound. And that was a lot more care for me.
Right.
And so I cared for him that year and a half. And
Wow.
we decided that we needed some help and that he couldn't get out as much.
Right.
And maybe if he came here, there'd be some kind of socialization that he could help him a little bit. And
Well, greetings. I think that we lost Kathy for a minute. Hopefully, she comes back on. I'm going to send her a quick message that she knows they are offline. But I really want you to take a minute and to hear Anita's story, because sometimes in life, we think we're about to start one journey and hiccups happen. And this is why it's important. Let me make sure I've got my audio unmuted. I do. But this is why it's important to get these things in place now, so that as you are aging, you can have independence and freedom and feel safe. So I was hearing somebody recently that was talking about a loved one getting sick was really hard, but one of the best choices they made was in advance having a cleaning lady and a landscape lady or landscape guy, so that they could continue living independently and not have some of these frustrations that you can face when you're trying to do things on your own. In a little bit, Kathy is going to show you what it looks like inside of one of the apartments at Abbey Park. And what I found sort of stunning is how big they are.
Can you hear?
Yeah, we can hear you. Welcome back.
Okay, so you were living in your condo, and for a year and a half, you took care of your husband.
right,
He was ill.
he gradually went down. He had several things that were bothering him. Anyways, we decided that this is a good chance for him to get to come someplace that could give him a little more care and help me too. And then I started looking at different places, and I asked my son, since I lived in Flushing, and I asked my son to look in Grand Blanc, and he looked at 2 or 3 places, I believe, and he said, "Mom, I think you'll like this one," and that was Abbey Park. And so I came with him, and
Initially, I remember you weren't really sure whether he should just come because he needed the care and that you would stay in your condo, and it was a big decision for you. I remember that.
yes, but he really wanted me to come,
Of course.
and so I came.
Yeah.
And it was hard at first,
Mhm.
and he needed the care. And what was hard at first was me letting go of the care
You bet.
because,
Nobody does it quite like you as well.
right, they're sure that they should do it differently.
Yes.
But they were very, very good, and they very politely told me that just we can take care of it.
Aw.
And
How many months were you here together?
February, March, actually just 2 months.
Wow.
It went a lot faster than we thought.
Okay.
He had surgery and there was infection and
Did you ever reach a decision of him receiving hospice care here?
yes,
Okay.
yes. They suggested it, and hospice was so good to us. And
Good.
Jerry's care was good. He he had a physical therapist, and she was going to help him with getting more strength to get out into his wheelchair. But then he had to get surgery, and it just melted. But
I'm sure you have no regrets that you stayed with him during
no,
that time.
no, I don't have any regrets at all.
And then after your husband passed away, you had to make a decision.
I had to make a decision about whether to stay or not, or to go back to the condo. And I think the main reason was the socialization,
Yeah.
because, of course, I didn't want to move again either. But yeah, people here were so kind and good and easy to speak to.
Yeah.
And it's just a really nice atmosphere here. Just the atmosphere of kindness and caring.
Well, what was your career?
I was a teacher
Okay.
here in Grand Blanc, actually,
Okay.
and for 30 some years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you had a lot of friends in Flushing where your condo was, but you realized when you moved here that you could still see your friends.
Yeah, and I do still drive back over to Flushing off and on, particularly when I go for church. And I know there's a little store there that I like, and
So you still have the freedom to come and go.
yes, because
But
I
you-
have my car.
And as you age, if you needed more assistance as you age, which you're a long way off because she does yoga, she's really fit, really brilliant. We're so happy that that Anita is
You're
here.
very kind.
I was so excited not that I was excited when your husband passed away, but when I saw you bringing more things in after he passed away, because we didn't know if you were going to stay.
Yeah.
And our lease is a short-term lease. It's month to month.
Yeah.
With a 30-day notice. So we were like waiting to see if Anita was going to stay. And we get really excited about people who move in, and they just seem so vital and just adds to our community. So
Yes.
and what kind of things do you enjoy doing now here at Abbey Park?
Well, I love to do puzzles, and usually have one going. There's an activities room, so I usually have one going there. And sometimes someone comes up and helps for a little bit. And then I have enough room that I have a table in for my puzzle here. So I have two going usually. And I like to play bridge. And we found some other people. They were looking for a bridge player. And Richard was the one that told them that I played bridge. Because he had worked with Jerry. My husband was a school teacher also.
Right.
At the high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so upstairs in the coffee shop, the four of you
Yes.
play bridge, and you battle it out for a trophy, the bridge trophy that somebody wins.
Yes.
How often does the trophy change hands?
Every time we get together.
So I love to see them upstairs. I might be up on a tour, and the four of them will sit there, and they all speak very highly of Abbey Park. People become very close. We have a strong sense of community here.
Yes, very strong.
Now, also, we were just noticing in her apartment that Anita has homemade cross-stitch pieces that are absolutely beautiful. She has brought so much beauty to this apartment, and when she moved in, I knew that she and her husband would love the deluxe because it has 2 bathrooms and it's very large, lots of closets.
Yes, lots of closets.
Any words of advice you have for anybody who's a caregiver now and living at home and maybe feeling overwhelmed?
I would certainly have them come and tour and see what it's like here. Yeah, we were welcome. I mean, there were residents who stopped and talked to us when we first came in, and that was nice. Yeah.
I love that.
And so I just saw a chance you just feel it as you become a part of it, or as you come in, you just feel the warmth of the atmosphere.
Good. That's a blessing to me and wonderful to hear. And thank you so much for inviting us into your home, all of us. And
No problem.
if it's okay with you, we're going to just take a little look around your apartment. But thank you so much for
You're
helping
welcome.
us today.
You're welcome.
All right. So we are going to take a look around of the apartment that Anita has beautifully decorated. And by the way, she does have an adorable cat, Martin, but I think Martin's hiding right now.
He got camera shy.
So here is the large living room and kitchen. And Anita, you're welcome to sit there or get up, whatever you want to do. You're welcome to stay while we show your beautiful place. So Anita has a kitchen here, so plenty of space for her to cook if she wants for herself, or she can come down to the coffee shop, which is where we serve the continental breakfast. So we provide the refrigerator and the stove. And we're gonna go right over here to the bedroom. And Anita, oh, there's Martin. Large bedroom that Anita has with all of her beautiful pieces of art on the wall. Nice furniture, nice beautiful bed. She has a little window seat. There's Martin. He's such a big food. Hi. So people can have cats here. We do have a couple of people with dogs. It's a little bit more tricky to have a dog here. Nice big, large bedroom, as you can see. Closets, and then there'll be more closets over here. And actually, the previous resident painted a couple of walls as sage green, which is really beautiful. And then bathroom. All of our bathrooms have grab bars near the toilet and also in the shower. And all of our showers have a bench as well. So nice big vanity. So it's a really, really nice apartment. I'm sure you will agree.
I might say because of the nice size of the bedroom, we were able to have that hospital bed and still have plenty of room.
Perfect. So that's a really great point to remember, because as a caregiver of our loved one, of our spouse, we never know who's going to become sick, if either one, but we're both not going to live forever, and someone's probably going to get sick first. So it's nice to be able to bring the hospital bed in, and there's plenty of room to do that here.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. We'll see you out and about, Anita.
Okay.
So we're gonna leave Anita's apartment now. We're gonna walk down. By the way, she has a second bathroom. Forgot to mention that. Anita's second bathroom, which is great for couples. Not all of our apartments have 2 bathrooms. So this one's called the deluxe. And if you're interested, thank you, Anita. Okay, I'm gonna let you shut the door for me. All right, we're gonna be walking down the hall. Hopefully we won't lose our signal. Liz, you doing okay?
I am hanging in here.
Okay,
Those
we've got
apartments blow
Claudia.
my mind. They're as big as a
I know, it's
condo.
beautiful. So this is the medical team office. This is Claudia, our facility nurse. She's with the medical team, is the name of the company.
So we had that little problem when we did a tech check. There seems to be a dead zone in that spot. Hopefully we can get Kathy to hop back on here in a minute. Is she back on? Okay, let's see if we can add her.
Oh, I do want you to meet a very special lady.
She always has a smile. She has a beautiful smile.
This is Dr. Bouvier's mother, Helen Bouvier. She lives here. We're making a online video,
Okay.
and Rob was on a little while ago. So
Okay, just picking me up pretty soon.
yeah. So do you want to
Yes.
say hello? This is Helen Bouvier.
Hello.
Isn't she beautiful? So
Yes.
your son was talking about you today, how you do squats.
Yes,
Yes. So she's
Yes.
extremely fit. May I tell them your age?
93.
93.
I do about 30 squats a day.
So it's pretty amazing. She's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see you when you get back. So I get to see my mother-in-law every day, which is wonderful. Hi, you two. Hi, Marilyn. How are you? These two are smiling and they want to say hello. This is Jean and Harold. They are very good friends. We both live here.
Hello.
I'm just down the road from her.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Look at your pretty nails.
Isn't Jenna pretty with the pretty nails? Oh, so he doesn't want to be, he's in the witness protection program. Hi, Marilyn. So this is our large lobby. This is Yvonne. Hello. She's one of our gym ladies. She goes to the gym. Hi, Marilyn.
Hello.
And she joined the athletic fitness club and she
Yep.
loves to go to swimming classes.
Yep,
don't
I
you?
do. Yes, I do. It's so much fun.
Now you moved in with your husband, right?
Yes, and he was here 6 months and then he was in 6 months at
A rehab facility, Wellbridge.
no, he was in assisted living.
Oh,
Assisted living, and that's where he died, and he had Parkinson's disease and the effects of that. You don't die from Parkinson's, but you, all the rest of it.
that must have been hard.
It was hard, but what? I knew how much he was suffering,
Yeah.
and I know where he's at. And I know that he is having a glorious time with his Lord. So,
And you are a bright and shining light here at Elm Park.
oh,
We're so
thank
happy.
you. I'm happy to be here.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. And you keep going to the gym. You keep going and swimming.
Absolutely.
Everybody want to say hi? Ted is making a little online video. Hello, everybody.
Everybody say hi.
Hi. We have our two-sided fireplace. Everyone loves that. Well, hi, Dee. Look at that. This looks like Joanne. Oh, no, it's not Joanne, it's Grace. Hi, how are you today? Residents do enjoy coming down to the lobby and visiting with each other, as you can see. I do want to point this out. This is one of the activities that we're providing, Art with Allison. Residents can make this beautiful painting, which is pretty fabulous. And here is Abbey Lane. So we have our library, lots of donated books, our little store. On the right, we have a doctor's office and hair salon. There's Lisa doing Nancy's hair. So this is all the common area that the residents can enjoy together. We have an ice cream parlor on the right. And on the left, poor Jenna, she's having to go back and forth. Our chapel is on the right, so different congregations come in, Holy Family comes in, they do a communion service every week, and they do a full mass once a month. And in the morning, we serve continental breakfast in our coffee shop. Residents can come down and have as much as they want or as little as they want, but they're able to come and have breakfast. So we put the continental breakfast here, fresh fruit, baked goods, eggs, English muffins, bagels, fruit. Sometimes we have hard-boiled eggs, yogurt. So it's a great selection for them, and they can make their own, prepare their own breakfast. And then we also have movie theater. Hi, Dee. How are you today? Good. Good. Movie theater with popcorn machine. And that wraps up Abbey Lane. We are almost to the dining room. And this way we have our main dining room where we serve at noon and at 5. The largest meal is at noon, which is the dinner. Dinner at noon. Oh, it's pretty clean. They've got it all cleaned up. Hi, Greg. So we have a really wonderful staff here. It's a blessing actually to be able to come up to work every day. We have a wonderful staff with low turnover. Residents just know our staff. We address the residents by first name, and everybody has a place to sit, and it becomes, your spot in the dining room becomes your little family, which is great. Last stop on our tour is our Veterans Wall of Honor. We're very proud to say that when we put this wall up in 2011, we had 75 World War II veterans living here, which is pretty amazing. The wall just keeps growing, and I'm really, really honored to have this testament to the men and women who served during wartime and non-wartime. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you for those who viewed, and thank you, Elizabeth, all of you participating. I just want to remind everybody, if they'd like to come in for a tour, please just give us a call. We have a website, abbeypark.com, or you can call 810-606-1110. Thank you.
Down.
And here we are live. So was that cool? That place is huge. So all you got to do is move to Abbey Park and you'll get your 10,000 steps in every day walking there. But they do have it where things are really close and easy for you to access for everyday living. So one of the things that also is a perk for Abbey Park is they have things like senior transportation and the whole social aspect. And let's be real, if you're not moving your body and you're not staying positive in some way, there's going to be a likelihood you're not going to feel good. And one of the things you hear all the time is caregivers often will become more sick than the person they're taking care of. And it's because they neglect their body. They stop doing things like moving or prioritizing their health, or they're grabbing something quick to eat so they can tend to somebody else's needs. But our opportunity to help people starts with ourselves. So I wanted to share one of my fun things that I get to do every Wednesday. Is it's such a blessing to be able to say you love the work you do, because I have an opportunity to work with Shana Melissa Stockman. Every Wednesday, she does a live stream and she brings such positive energy. So I thought this could be a good time for you guys to see a little bit of a flavor. Let me get this over here. See a little bit of a flavor of what it's like doing some daily simple things. And I don't think anybody else can share it for you better than Shayna herself. So I'm going to see if I can pull her on here really quick. Let me pull up her phone. See if I can find you. Where'd you go, Shayna? I think this. Oh, no, I might have to onboard her again. Hold on one second. Let me see all these little fun things. So while you're watching live, why don't you tell me, Sheena, I don't see your camera. Let me remove
Hey,
it, bring it
hey.
back in. But while you're watching with us, tell us, what are some of the golden nuggets that you've gotten out of this workshop so far? Were there any?
Ooh, sure. There was lots of that. Now, Abraham Law brought up great points. A lot of times we might even have a will or an estate plan, but things have changed. Maybe someone passed, we just remarried, we divorced, we have a new child, a new grandbaby to include. So that's very important. Dr. Bouvier brought up great points. I actually love his language because we speak so much of the same. I love that he was talking about fusing exactly what I do, fusing old school naturopathy with new school traditional medicine and get the best of both worlds. We don't always have to select one or the other. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, Sheena, give me one second. I've got to pull in your camera
Okay.
and assign it to this place so that we're on the same screen together.
Oh,
Is this you? Nope, that's not you. Let me do remove camera and then Shayna add to placeholder 4. There we go. All right, fabulous. Got you now. Yay.
and I want to give
Good to
you a
see you.
lot of credit, Liz, because you are hosting this event and co-hosting and working back all the back end cameras, lights, microphones, mutes, unmutes, 20 layers, Wi-Fi is going out. People don't know how to turn their cameras on and off and muting and name changing. So you are doing that simultaneously while you are hosting this event, which is absolutely amazing that you can do all of that and still be the host
Yeah, we're
and
here. We're
introduce
doing it. You're helping me do
people.
it. You are helping me. I'm so grateful. And
Yay.
Sheena was so gracious because a lot of times I'm on the back end doing things and shining the spotlight out on people. And so it was helpful for her to come out and share some of this
Yes.
admin burden and logistics burden. So I appreciate you bringing a lot of joy to my life.
You want me to sum up my gold nuggets now?
Well, no, I thought that
Oh,
what we could
okay.
do is I was just trying to bring you on board, but your
Yeah.
camera disconnected and it went to a different camera spot. So I had to re-onboard you. And now I thought we could do like a little segment of your happy dance. I think that we've
Oh
got that set up.
yeah, I love my
Uh,
happy dance. I don't know what song you're gonna play, but
Oh,
let's
I
make it
think it's a
happen.
song. I think it's a
Woo,
song you're
woo,
gonna
woo.
recognize. And
Ready?
maybe after this happy dance, we can come back and talk about a couple other things. And then we're supposed to
Sure.
have Sheriff Chris Swanson come on board and give some helpful information for some seniors. So I'm
Yes.
waiting for him to show up in the green room. But for now, why don't I
Yeah.
mute myself?
Yeah,
And I'm
and
going
can
to
I
take
just
some.
explain to them about the happy dance, what it is?
Well,
Or maybe while the
I think
music's
that
going
you
on?
should explain to
Okay.
them about the happy dance and
All
what
right,
are the
guys.
benefits and why should healthcare
All
people
right.
or caregivers, family caregivers,
Yes.
why should they even do it, right?
For those of you that don't know me, I'm not a dancer by profession. I'm Shan Melissa Stockman. I'm the autoimmune expert, board certified, nationally board certified nurse practitioner, over 30 years, an RN, well over 30 years. And my 4 minute happy dance is like this. In our busy lifestyles, there are 1,440, I believe. I don't know if you guys know what that is, the significance of it. 1,440 is the number of minutes in a day. And I don't care how busy you are, out of 1,440 minutes every single day, You are worthy and you are deserving to take at least 4 of those minutes. Pick a song that makes you happy and just dance. It could be any song. And what a 4 minute happy dance a day. I like to do what we call simple swap outs. In your busy lifestyle, we can't often do more than we already are. But what happens instead of watching TV for an hour? Instead, just do a 4 minute happy dance a day. That's going to save you 365 hours practically a year. And a 4 minute happy dance a day at the end of the year will have provided you an extra 24 hours of activity that you would not have had. I don't know what song she's going to pick or but we shall see. So if you can right now wherever you're watching in from, if you guys are on social, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, we cannot see you. But please get up and dance when we start the music. If you can't get up and dance, please, whatever you can do, just shake your head, clap your hands, because you can do to de-stress, burn a couple calories. Ooh, I hear some music. Oh, wait, I heard it. Woo! So wherever you guys are, it's a little hard for me. I got earbuds in and wires everywhere. Oh, this is my theme song. Woo! Wherever you guys are, if you can, stand up right now just for a couple minutes. Just shake it out, de-stress. Woo! I hope you can hear the words to my theme song. And if you're on Zoom, I can see you if you're not standing up dancing. Come on, guys. If you can't, clap your hands, shake your head, whatever you can do, because it still can move your needle forward. So every single day, pick a happy song out of 1,440 minutes in a day. You are worthy. You are deserving of at least 4 to pick a song and just dance. It de-stresses you, it burns a couple calories, it increases stamina. And one of my clients, a fellow nurse, she was at a long-term facility and she couldn't get up and dance, but I told her whatever she was capable of. And she felt like for the first time in a long time, she was included in what other people were doing and she felt like she could do something. So I know if you guys are at Abbey Park and you're watching this and you can't get up and dance, shake your head, shrug your shoulders, clap your hands, whatever you can do. Woo! Again, a 4 minute happy dance at the end of the year, if you do that every single day, that's 24 hours of exercise you went to have. It thickens your bones a little bit, good to rebuild bones from osteoporosis, osteopenia. Like I said, burns a couple calories, increases your stamina. And I know one of my clients in the beginning couldn't do the 4 minute happy dance. So just do whatever you're capable of. If it's a 30 seconds, that's fine. And over time, you're going to be able to increase the duration, the length. And one of my clients, when she started in my 90-day program, she couldn't dance more than 30 seconds without stopping, shortness of breath and tired. But now she's up to 30 minutes on a rebounder a day. So these little habits add up, and do whatever you can. If you guys are out there at Abbey Park, if you could just stand for like 10 seconds, that's fine. The next time, try to make it 15, the next time 20. And before you know it, you'll be doing more than you thought you were capable of. Woo! I don't know if you guys can hear the music. I'm just gonna keep dancing because I see that little dancing bear. Woo! You can roll your neck, shrug your shoulders, whatever it may be, these little habits add up. You guys hear the music okay? Woo! It's a good way to thicken your bones. Weight-bearing exercise helps rebuild bone and prevent additional bone loss. And that's very important when you're an older woman. Well, even preventative before you even get that elder age. Because after age 30, your collagen, you start depleting your collagen. That's what makes up your bones, your ligaments, your tendons. Can we just dance? Oh, I got another song. Okay. So I want you to know, if you can hear me, you are worthy. You are deserving. I don't care how busy your day is. As a caregiver, of 4 minutes out of 1,440 to just stop. Woo!
So I switched to this one on accident, but I got to tell you, my cardio is going, Shayna. I'm feeling good. So
All
is
right.
this one of your tricks that you do for all your energy all day long? Like, I gotta
Yes.
know.
Yes, because everyone's so busy. They're like, listen, I can't afford, I don't have time to go to the gym. You don't have to spend a half hour each way getting to the gym to wait for equipment. You can save that gym membership wherever you are. If you guys are living at Abbey Park or wherever, you could just stand up, whatever you can do. If you can't weight bear, then just kick your legs. Whatever you can do, it's more than you were doing. So, woo, thickens the bones. It's good. It de-stresses you. And it takes time to build up the stamina, but over time, it'll be longer and longer and longer. Who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe it'll be up to like a half hour before you know it. Just have a dance off or
It's
something.
so true. It's so true. And I think this is important to think of when it comes to your health care. A lot of times people will say they want to shred the weight that they gain over 6 months, they want to shed it in 6 days. So we've got to be
Yes,
practical. And it's these little things that add up so quickly. It's just
yes.
amazing. Yeah.
It's so true. I'd have a patient come in and say, "Oh, listen, my daughter's wedding is like in 2 weeks and I want to drop some weight." So now's the time to start. People wait till it's summertime. If you want to drop
Hmm.
very more easily, say just a pound a week, and you want to shed 10 pounds, you got to start 10 weeks before summer comes.
That's
You
good
know, if you want
advice.
to think you might do 2 pounds a week and you want to shed 20, you got to still start 10 weeks earlier. So too many people are waiting too late to start. Oh, get here.
What would be,
There you
oops,
are.
oh, wrong slide. Here we
Yeah. Oh, can you?
What would be one
There
of
you
your
are.
pieces of advice for people that say that they don't have time? Like, how do they fit in those 4 minutes?
Listen,
I
there
think,
is no excuse. We can't, there's only 24 hours in the day. We can't make more time. You always have to take it from somewhere else. But what if you're sitting down watching it? A lot of people say, I got no time to go to the gym, but they're watching 2 hours of TV, they're watching a movie every single night. So you have to take it from somewhere else. If we don't prioritize it, we're gonna have an excuse. And if we want it bad enough, we're gonna make it happen. So no matter how busy you are, what maybe watch less TV, maybe watch less movie. Maybe don't stop off at Starbucks to buy that coffee when you can brew it at home and save that 20 minutes, 10 minutes each way and the 10 minutes online, that 30 minutes. So you have to take it from somewhere else and you have to prioritize it. If you don't want it, you're going to have an excuse. If you want it, you're going to make it happen no matter what you have to do. And I'm going to keep talking because the spotlight's on me. Oh, thank you. Yes, Kudos Magazine. I absolutely love, love, love. I've been collaborating with them for 24 issues. The last past 24 issues of this beautiful magazine. It was originally printed. Now it's also digital. And inside it's interactive. You can click on any one of us in there and go right to our videos. You can go right to a video of me making a quick, healthy one pot wonder right in my kitchen. I mean, how cool is that? So thank you, Kudos Magazine, for helping provide quick, healthy recipes that save and articles that save time, save money, and save an ulcer each and every month to all of my clients. All of my clients get your Kudos Magazine. They absolutely love it, and they can't wait for the next edition to come out. And they're telling me they made the recipes. They're like, "Oh my God, I made that chicken thing." And thank you, thank you, thank you, kudos. And thank you, Elizabeth Morosco and Brady Events and Marketing, because thanks to you, I think it's about just about the 1 year mark that my podcast has been every single Wednesday, nonstop, every single Wednesday, 7 p.m. or 1 p.m. EST, live stream to YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. So thank you for helping me expand my reach and forever bring my message.
I've learned a lot along the way too. And I'm so grateful that we had a chance to take part of this journey together. So, Sheena and I both came from two different backgrounds, and with COVID, our careers collided and created new opportunity together, which is great. I think with technology, we're just on the beginning forefront of where we're going, and how that's powerful for caregivers and their family is it becomes easier to have access to tools and resources that can make this journey a little bit easier, including Shayna has an online program. So start opening up your mind to how you're willing to learn and grow as you get on this journey. And up next, we were supposed to have Sheriff Chris Swanson. I have not seen them log on yet. So I'm not sure if there's technical difficulties or anything. I haven't heard back from them. So what we might end up doing, he's got like 2 minutes that he's supposed to be coming on. But if not, I think Shana and I are pretty good at improv
Yeah.
of putting out fires and doing things. So for those of you
Yes.
that don't know me, a little bit on my background, I mentioned I own Brady Events and Marketing. So I used to produce a lot of in-person events that were for corporate America, nonprofits, and private parties. And it was an incredible journey. Took from Ford Motor Company to starting my own business. But COVID happened and we switched to digital format. And even with Kudos itself, I started it when I became a caregiver. I was a caregiver for my husband and multiple other family members, all with different capacities of the support that they needed. But with that being said, I learned a lot and it was a very difficult journey, but it required me to change careers. It required me to learn and to be adaptable. But it was truly the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. So for all the caregivers that are out there never getting any kudos, this is a great big kudos whole episode for you. All of us that came and presented, it was coming from a place of love to give back and to deliver. But this is what I'm thinking because I do want to be mindful of all of the audience and make sure that the content that we're putting out there is great. I apologize that we don't have Sheriff Swanson here, but I imagine if he's not here, it's for a good reason. I do want to give accolades to him really quick. The intent was is he was going to come out and speak about senior safety. And I've known Chris for years. I met him originally through fundraising efforts throughout Genesee County. And I know a lot of people will say things that he has been active and on camera and stuff, but I just want to let people know he's also in the background helping with fundraising. He's done a lot for breast cancer and seniors and things like that. So he is an incredible pillar in our community. So if he doesn't join us, I'm gonna know it's for something serious. So let's just be mindful. And maybe we can have him come back another day if we still got time. We still have time. But for now, Shana, how about are you comfortable if we go to
Sure.
your presentation? And
And if he hops in and you want to switch to him
no,
and then
I,
I
I
come
think
up or
if
whatever,
you're going, you keep going, and then we'll
let's
bring
do
him in when
it.
he's comfortable. And what I can do too is then at the end we'll figure it out. But that's a beautiful thing. What are we talking about? Adaptability, and we're living it
Yeah.
in real time right now. So,
Yes.
and for all of our viewers, thank you for
Okay.
your patience. It's a little bit of work doing a lot of people coming
A
in from
little.
different places. We had different devices, PCs, iPhones, iPads, Macs, independent cameras, but it's a great time for me to say this one thing too before we get to the end. I do want to thank some of the people that are in the background that have been helping Shayna and I all of our shows, but here today we've got a couple extra shout outs. So Major Gold with Sheriff Swanson's office, Genesee County, we want to say thank you. And also Gladys, you're always back there keeping us on track, doing beautiful things that sometimes people don't know, but we see you. We
Team
appreciate you.
kudos.
And Crystal, you are amazing, always doing things right when they need to be done the right way and always supportive. We are looking so forward to continuing this journey with you. Thank you so much. Between iPhones and laptops, we're learning a lot. And then also the fabulous Jenna. I saw you in the background with your nails doing all those fancy tricks for Abbey Park. Thank you so much. You made that whole entire thing much easier and even coming in early this morning to help with that. Thank you. And then lastly, a new one that popped up with us today is Izzy. Izzy, welcome to the Kudos little show that we're doing. But I want you guys to know this is all made possible through people that are coming together in daily lives to make this happen. And you got to be willing to evolve and grow. This is these are some previous copies of Kudos magazine because it was previously in print and we had a print distribution. We had a readership of about 50,000, but now we're doing a lot online and reaching people in new ways. As technology evolves, we've got to change, right? So that's what we're doing. I'm going to do one quick tour through and see if by chance he is here, I don't see him. So Sheena, let me ask you really quick. Do you want to share your screen or do you want me to navigate? You guys are seeing behind the
I
scenes.
will screen share. Maybe the first couple you don't have to broadcast or something, like the first
Okay, let me
three.
go
Want me to
here.
screen share now?
And yeah, let me get this window open.
If I make it happen.
See, we are literally changing
Ooh,
things in
ooh.
real time, you guys. So thank you.
Oh, Swanson's here. Do you want to go to him?
Is
Maybe
he
you do.
here? Did he show
Yeah.
up?
Can I admit him?
Yeah, go ahead, admit him.
All
All
right.
right, we got you now. Hey, Chris Swanson.
Yes.
Oh, wow. There we go.
We got a little close. Let me see if I can zoom out from you. How are you? Welcome to the party. It's a wonderful day. So, I wanted to do just a quick little intro for those of you that don't know Chris Swanson. He is the sheriff of Genesee County, and he is always doing good for our community. Chris is here to talk to you a little bit about senior safety and things to keep our community safe. I'm going to just turn over the microphone to you and
All right. Well, I'll make sure that we have plenty of time for questions. And I never take it for granted these opportunities to talk to whoever's on this call, whoever's going to hear this message, that all of our communities are safe when you make them a priority. And not one person or one community can be forgotten. So, as the sheriff of the county, I've been doing what I've been doing so gratefully for 33 years. I start my 34th year, June 2nd, and I've served all populations. And the one that we speak of right now, by definition, now it's not by how you feel or look, but by definition in Genesee County, through the Elder Abuse Task Force and Senior Millage, it's 60 and above. That means that you qualify for so many services at 60 above. Well, what we've noticed is there's a lot of predators out there, both when it comes to human trafficking through our ghost team, but also predators that abuse, neglect, and exploit our senior population. And when you have people that have been together 30, 40, 50, 60 years and something happens, a lot of these folks, they are not used to handling some of the business. And that's where predators that are looking to exploit take advantage of them financially. The people that have to care for them, they also take advantage because they abuse them and they neglect them because that individual becomes a burden. Well, over 20 years ago, the Senior Millage, my predecessor, Sheriff Brown, formed the Elder Abuse Task Force. But it's not just for physical abuse, it's for financial abuse and exploitation. And so when we talk about this topic, I talk about it from the law enforcement side. But I want to add too, when we get done, I'm going to wrap around how we have what's called the grace team. And that is to handle things that are non-criminal, but still are very important when it comes to the senior population. Before we get to that, the elder abuse world is many times because of the people that are caregiving, the people that are taking care of the individuals that need that care. And so we find that the ones abusing are the ones that share DNA. It's the caregivers. And some of this abuse and neglect is so egregious because it's happened over time. So when you have decubitus ulcers that aren't treated, or you have people that are not moved from beds and couches and chairs, and they're not changing their undergarments, these are the things that we see that lead to severe malnutrition, toxicity. They lead with many times disease that is caused by neglect. They don't go to the doctor. These are all the things that we see in the abuse neglect world. We hold those people accountable because there's so many different places along the way, like we're doing right now, where people know there's other alternatives. There's people that can help you, but you can't just neglect and abuse people. The prosecutor, David Layton, is very aggressive on charging people that abuse and neglect. And then on top of that, you have people that have services that can help caregivers because that is a difficult job. When I was growing up in high school, my grandfather, who did 32 years on as a police officer in Detroit, he had Alzheimer's and he lived with us for 14 months. And I'll never forget seeing the decline as a young teen when I knew him growing up as my hero and then seeing him decline. And you try to put the pieces together and it's very difficult. So just know that there's a team out there in Genesee County that's been around for decades. We're very aggressive on holding people accountable and doing things like this that give people a notice that you can't do this, at least in this county, because you're going to be held accountable. The second part of that is what we see all the time, and that is the financial exploitation. We see that with our scams. I just did a video last week of, and we do this all the time, PSAs on individuals that are calling saying you have a warrant for your arrest. There's a bill that has been paid. You didn't show up for jury duty. All these horrible human beings that are calling from foreign countries, they scare the elder population and they use demographics to find people that are old. And we have a kid now that we're working. We have warrants where an individual is looking through obituaries, knowing that the individuals that have been deceased have property, and they're trying to steal that property from the estate. These are the kind of diabolical people that we're dealing with. That no matter where they are, we're going to find them and we're going to hold them accountable. So the exploitation, the scam part of it, that even goes into a lot of what we call relational scams. We see a lot of this on social media, especially Facebook and Instagram, where most of our senior population, they listen and they get their news and they like enjoyment. But these predators will send direct messages to try to build a relationship. And they will do it in such a way where the individual who maybe is widowed, alone, they feel like they can help. And all of it is about money. But they build such a deep relationship that it convinces them to give money. And we've seen that up to $30,000 and more, where they've given money and they sent it, even dollars in real bills. They don't want to be treated and they don't want to be disrespected. So it's hard for family to just intervene when they think they're actually doing something right. But that's why forums like this are so important. It's because you have to look out for the population that may be communicating to somebody who they think is a friend or needs them, and it's a predator. But the third piece of that exploitation is not just physical abuse, not only just the exploitation, but sextortion. And you would think that that happens in the teen and a young adult world, but sextortion is very prevalent in our population in the adulthood and beyond. These are individuals that send a direct message. You probably have gotten a text message where somebody asked if we're still on for golf, or I haven't heard from you a while. You don't know the number, so you respond and you are sucked into the algorithm, and they're going to try to build a relationship. They're going to try to send pictures to you, a video, and they're going to try to do something where you send a compromising picture video back. This is not just for the young people. We've seen this happen in our elder population, and the embarrassment is beyond measure because they know better. They know better, and that's why they pay money. And these predators are there to extort it. So we say to people, if you get a direct message, a text message, or anything that you don't know the source, do not respond, just delete. If you get a call or a text and they're trying to hardball you by giving money or turn yourself in, we will not, law enforcement will not call you and ask for money over the phone. We will not call you and tell you that you need to turn yourself in unless you know you've done something wrong, which these people have not. So all of those exploitations, the financial, the physical, and the sextortion, that's what we see the most prevalent. And so that's why we need to make sure that if you know somebody who's single, widowed, somebody who's a little bit more vulnerable, you can see them slip. That's where you need to come in and intervene. The courts are there. And many times the courts can help with guardianship. They can help with, we call financial power of attorney, medical power of attorney. But many times these cases are not criminal cases. So what do? Well, 7 years ago, we formed through the prosecutor's office a joint partnership called GRACE. And the GRACE team is a non-criminal team that we have at the sheriff's office, that I have a sergeant and a deputy that go into these worlds and help navigate people through the probate court, help them with wills, help them with legal paperwork. Because there's a lot of folks that lose their spouse and they don't know what to do. And of course, there's a predator that's going to be there to help figure that out. So the GRACE team is again, non-criminal team that works the whole county. We take referrals. We work with VAAA. We work with all the senior services, the senior centers, Meals on Wheels when they see something, and we intervene. It's been very effective and saved a lot of people from being exploited. So those are the things that we have in Genesee County. I will tell you, of the 83 counties, we are very fortunate because our funding comes not only through the senior millage, but also through grants that we've proven ourselves to be worthy as a recipient. So that's the update with what we have. Those are some things that you need to be concerned about. And I'll turn it over and open up for any questions, which I'm sure have more of a lengthy explanation as well. Back to you.
One question that I do have for you is if somebody suspects that their loved one is being preyed upon, like you're talking about, what do they do? Who do they call? Like you find out your spouse or your parent, your adult parent, is doing Western Union money to somebody. What do you do? Who do you call?
Well, the easiest answer to that, and it's a great question because people don't think that 911 is for non-emergencies, but that's it. And sometimes, as I said, you have loved ones that will not believe the caregiver that it's a scam. In fact, they try to use it as a means to be angry that somebody would intervene, thinking number one, they don't know what they're talking about, or they know that this person loves them. It's very difficult. But having a police officer or a detective intervene on behalf of that loved one, it makes it a little bit more worthwhile and a little bit more validated that there is a scam going on, but it doesn't always happen. So 911 would be your first line of defense. The second one, I'd love you to put it in the chat, is the sheriff's office radio line. It's a non-emergency 24/7 line, 810-257-3422. 810-257-3422. That is a number that you can call. And I have detectives on call 24/7. We do this a lot where we intervene when a family knows that their loved one is communicating with somebody who's a brigadier general in Hawaii and they lost their spouse and they don't have enough money because the VA isn't paying their bills. And they start to build this relationship and they send fake pictures of the obituary and they do this, woe is me. And oops, they just got diagnosed with some kind of a medical problem. They can't pay their copay. Oh, I'd love to come marry you. I'd love to come stay. We're going to be so happy. These are all those scam. And if you've seen the movie The Beekeeper, that's the kind of thing that happens. They have true corporations across the globe that their only mission is to exploit people around the country. That's the answer to your question. Call 911 or call the sheriff's office. And either way, we will intervene and we will intercept. Because if you're sending money, you're never going to get it back.
Yeah, that's sad reality. These things are going on every day. So, but with that being said, we also want to know that this is something important. We're hearing AI is now able to duplicate voices. I actually know somebody this happened to, and they're calling people. So, what advice do you? What it might be like a fake voice of the grandson calling and saying, "Grandma, I'm in jail. I need
Yeah.
money." And it's not even their grandson. So, do you have any suggestions on like seniors or people that get that kind of thing?
That absolutely happens. And they were doing that even before AI, but AI made it that much better because it is actually the voice of the person. It's just not the real person. So they prey on emotion. They prey on the urgency to make the call. They don't want people to hang up the call. They want to use their credit card number right there. So I would say this, no matter how bad it sounds, I would absolutely say, I am brokenhearted. I can't believe it's happening. I want to make sure this is real. And I know it seems cold hearted, but if they're asking for money, hang up and call somebody from that family circle without AI knowing who you're calling. They know there's a grandson in Spokane, Washington. They know that there's a sister in law in Butte, Montana, or a loved one in Tallahassee, Florida. They know that because AI searches and they build a profile of who you think they're going to call, and they do. That being said, be very suspect of anybody who's calling you for tragedy and asking for money. We know we're going to get the call that somebody got killed or somebody's dead or somebody needs help. That happens all the time. But if it's ever that they need money, that's when the red flag should go up. And all I'm asking you to do is take one step, one layer of security and ask, all right, I appreciate it. I'm so brokenhearted. I'm on another call. I'll call you right back. Hang up and call that loved one yourself. AI can't track that. And you just beating the system.
That is so good. That is so good. Simple too. I've heard these different things of having
Yes,
passcodes, but they could find the passcode. Hang it up, call them back. So keep it simple. It's these little things that are evolving that if we keep the community informed and start talking, we can keep people a little bit safer. And
that's
that
right.
is one of the things that I absolutely adore about you, Chris, is you are obviously you're working, but you're an advocate that really cares about your community. And right before you came on here, I was sharing how you and I originally met was through different fundraising activities. And a lot of people see you online as like work, but I'm going to tell you, even like when the cameras aren't there, Chris is there donating his time, volunteering, rolling up his sleeves, and to see you taking the time to care for our most vulnerable, or the seniors and people that need help, it's inspiring to see leaders who are leading with true care for the community. And I just want to say great big kudos to you, Chris Swanson. I think you're a rock star. So
Ah,
thank you again.
well, kudos to you, because I say this all the time. Good people find good people, and
That's
that's how you
right.
and I met.
That's right. That's right. We'll take more of that. So, with that being said, we hope to have you back again another day. If you
Of
know anybody
course,
interested, go to kudoscaregiver.com. This will be on the replay. There's no charge for it. And Chris and all the speakers came here, donated their time. So, let's just give them a great big thank you. We appreciate all you. And I hope you have a wonderful afternoon and we'll be chatting soon. Did you have any other last
got
thoughts
it.
that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I just want you to know that today's a special day, and this is probably going to shift the momentum, but in the end, there's going to be a great lesson. There was a synagogue attacked this afternoon in Oakland County. No reported injuries or deaths, but a individual drove into the building. And because we worked with Oakland County in the past, but we live in uncertain times. So just reach out to somebody who may not look, believe, live, or worship like you. And then tonight, in light of all that, it's ironic that we're able to work with people like you. And I have a great relationship with Tom Gores, the owner of the Pistons. And we're taking 180 of the LDS church members who suffered tragedy on the 28th of September down to a Pistons game tonight to celebrate and to try to help with their healing. So I say that to say kudos is for all of us on here. Do what you need to do to help somebody that may need it at that exact moment, because ready never comes. We don't get a second chance in life. So to everybody there's watching and listening to this, do one random act of kindness before you lay your head down tonight and watch this world become a better place.
That's exactly where it's at. It's all of us doing those one little things, and it does make a difference. And you're doing many one little things. So keep taking those. You've moved from baby steps to quantum leaps. So keep leaping, Chris. Thank you so
You
much for
got
coming
it.
out. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. Have a blessed day. And our thoughts and
You
prayers
too,
are with
everybody.
next. I actually have Shayna is going to be joining us right here for a little bit more fun and talking about some of the positive sides of health and wellness, because a lot of times it can get a little bit scary, but you have taken this new approach to healthcare that is really about all encompassing, starting with the mind and things that are beyond just take a pill. And I love that about you. So, with that being said, I'd love to introduce you again, once again, to the fabulous Shayna Melissa Stockman, also known as the autoimmune expert. Thanks for being here today.
So thank you to the beautiful Kudos Magazine, Elizabeth Morosco, Brady's Event, and Marketing for making this happen to give back to the community, this 3 hour plus event. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for making us all look good and sound good. I wanted to come on as the autoimmune expert. For those of you that don't know me, I've been a nationally board certified nurse practitioner and a registered nurse well over 30 years. My area of expertise are autoimmune, medical mysteries, and cancer warriors. I help them get and feel better while reducing or often eliminating their signs, symptoms, autoimmune flare ups, and reliance on meds. And I know this especially for the caregivers, because what if you're a caregiver of a child, a spouse, a significant other, a parent, a lot of you are in that sandwich generation where you're taking care of the parent and the child and the spouse. And you have to realize, wait a second, I'm taking care of everyone. Who's taking care of me, right? So often at the end of the day, when you're a caregiver, there's no time left, no energy left. We're putting ourselves last. We're running on fumes. We're telling ourselves, oh, I'll deal with it tomorrow. Oh, later. Oh, tomorrow. And how many of you say tomorrow, 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 and you put it on your to-do list and it doesn't happen? So it's important that you take time for yourself because you are worthy. You are deserving to treat yourself as good, if not better, than you treat the entire world. And who better to teach you that than a caregiver of over 30 years who always put everyone else first? So I did want to dive in a little bit. First, I have the slide of yes. Thank you, Kudos Magazine. They have allowed me to collaborate with this big, beautiful, healthy living magazine for the past 24 issues. The last 24 issues, all of my clients absolutely love them. Each and every month, they look forward to quick, healthy, yet delicious and nutritious recipes. There's everything from the printed version to now digital, where it's fun, it's interactive. You can click on some of the speakers tonight that are in the magazine and click and go right to their videos where they're talking to you. Like what Abraham Law is talking to you about estates and wills and planning, or Abby Park is talking to you about safety and long term care. Or I might be in my kitchen helping you make a quick, easy, one pot wonder, 1 hour set it and forget it recipe. Now, here's some of the prior covers. Thank you, Kudos, for allowing me to be on the cover of one of your editions. And this was our last episode, our last edition. A beautiful little boy. It's a beautiful magazine. I absolutely love it. Now, we're talking about the caregivers today, and a lot of you might be in that sandwich generation where you might be juggling taking care of the kids or the grandkids and the parent that's aging as well as the spouse. And we call that the sandwich generation because you have the younger child and the older parent or grandparent. Now, I've been a caregiver for family members, but there's also caregivers that are professionals, certified nurses, aides, nurses, physician's assistants, doctors, and so much more, and those at these senior living facilities as well. So there's all types of caregiver, but the caregivers often we put ourselves absolutely last. We're so busy taking care of the world that sometimes we just gotta stop and do some self-care. Now, after being a nurse since 1993 is when I first became a registered nurse. I was running an ER on empty, and a lot of my nurses can relate to this as well as caregiver of family members. You guys are not eating all day, you're not sleeping all day. As Dr. Bouvier said, we have to look at the essentials, eating, sleeping, mental health as well. So I know as a nurse, I was not eating, I was not sleeping, I was running around ragged. I was and you might be able to relate to this. And you think, oh my God, I can't squeeze in one more thing. And then five more things happen and you have to take care of it. Now, my story, for those of you that don't know, I was running an ER when the pandemic started on a skeleton crew with probably triple the amount of patients I should. And I was in heart failure. And that was an aha moment for me. I realized, wait a second, and you might be able to relate to this. I'm taking care of everyone. Who's going to take care of me? And the sad reality is, as a caregiver, if you don't take care of yourself, probably nobody's coming to do it because everyone is relying on you. So, as a registered nurse and a nurse practitioner, I was always telling caregivers to my patients, hey, make sure you take care of yourself first because you can't afford to get sick because then who's going to take care of your aging parent, your spouse, and your child, right? So, it is not selfish, it is selfless. Now, this is a quick story. The reason I show the eyeballs is I was on a huge event of 100,000 ladies. This is 200,000 eyeballs. And I was asked, what would you tell, if you could talk to yourself, what would you say? And maybe you can relate to this. I said, oh my God, why do you treat me so bad? You treat the entire world better than me. I too am worthy and deserving. So I want you to know you too are worthy. You are deserving to treat yourself as good, if not better than your bestie. And Another thing that might help you, we gotta ask for help. My entire life, I never asked. What? There's a lot of people around you that if you only asked, they would know that you needed help. Sometimes we're too proud to ask for help, and nobody's just gonna offer it to us. So it's important to ask for help. Look in the mirror and treat yourself as good as you treat everyone else. You are worthy. You are deserving. Now, I don't know if you see the little baby Shayna there, but that's what I would tell my younger self is please prioritize yourself higher above your job, above your business, because you have one life and that's it. And you are worthy, you are deserving, and treat yourself as good, if not better, than you treat your bestie. Now, here is that saying they say put your oxygen mask on first, right? If that plane is going down, and as a caregiver, you want to put that oxygen mask on everyone else, right? But what happens if you do that? You put it on, say, your child or your aging parent, but now you pass out because you can't breathe. What good are you if you're passed out or worse yet, or dead, right? So it is not selfish. It is selfless to do self-care. Because if you don't take care of yourself and you get sick or you pass away, who's going to take care of everyone else you're taking care of? Right? So please, when that plane is going down, you must put your oxygen mask on first. Otherwise, you're not surviving and you're not around to take care of anyone else. Now, we also have to master our mindset and retrain our brain. And during my 90-day program and my workshops that are live online, I go into more of mastering your mindset and retraining your brain. Because what we're learning is that a lot of our ideology stemmed from when we were younger, right? You put everyone else ahead of you, and then there's no time, no money left. And as a woman, you always say, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, when we're not fine. We have to retrain our brain and master our mindset. Sometimes, if you guys are suffering out there with different ailments, especially autoimmune, you're so focused on doctor, prescription, med, pharmacy. Am I almost out of my pills? Do I need to book another visit? Oh, my bottle's almost empty. I have to go to the pharmacy. Did I eat yet? I need to eat before I take this pill. But what if instead of focusing over there, where what you don't have and the misery, what if you focus over what you want and then how can you get it? Right? So instead of focusing on the bad and the deficit, retrain the brain to focus on I want. Now, I want this. How am I going to get it? It's like if you don't set the GPS in your car, if you don't know where you're going, you can't set Google Maps and it to tell you how to get there. So you have to realize what you want and then try to get it. Now, I drew this picture in the sand on Long Island, New York, where I'm originally from, as the sun was going down and the waves washed the last E away. Okay, I have a daily dose of positivity. This will begin to help you retrain your brain to master your mindset. So if you're more of a negative person, you want more positivity, there's so much bad news in the world today, like Sarah Sorensen was saying, we need some positivity. This is a daily dose of positivity. It's absolutely free. There's no cost, there's no upsell. You can scan that QR, or if you're on your phone, you can go to worldwellnessexpert.com/30 days. It's going to give you actually 31 screensavers that you can use for your phone or laptop and send you a different one every day for a month with another positive, inspirational, or transformational message to help you get into that mindset of positivity to retrain your brain. So worldwellnessexpert.com/30 days. All right. Now, you have those dashboard lights in your car, right? And you're not supposed to ignore them, right? Because what happens if you ignore that little oil light, right? Then you need a whole engine. You have to spend a lot more time and a lot more money. So we have warning signs in our car that are not to be ignored, or we have to spend more time, more money, and get replacement parts. Well, check this out. We also have warning signs in our body, like the ones on the dashboard, that are telling us these are signs and symptoms that something bigger is about to happen if we don't address it. Like for the doctors on there, you might notice your patient gets a nosebleed before they stroke, right? And that's a sign saying, hello, address it. So we have warning signs in our body that are not to be ignored. Now, here's some of them. Exhaustion. If you are waking up exhausted after sleeping 10 hours or on your fifth cup of coffee or waking up from a nap still exhausted, a fifth Red Bull, that is no good. That's your body screaming. And do not, please do not ignore that warning sign because what happens next is a much bigger problem. Now, these are often warning signs that your body, these are often warning signs that something else is going on, like a disease or a disorder coming on, or They are often warning signs of not of autoimmune disorders. They're not always warning signs of an autoimmune, but they are commonly seen in autoimmune disorders. That was that exhaustion, even if you wake up and you had 5 cups of coffee. This is pain out of control to what you should be having. You didn't do anything and you woke up and you're already in pain. That is not normal. That is your body screaming your warning signs to address it and listen to it. Your hair is falling out and it shouldn't be in clumps. You have inability to lose weight or you're gaining weight. You're still eating about the same. You're just as active. You can't drop a pound, or in fact, you might be gaining weight and you're trying to eat salads and chicken, and people aren't believing you. You could have weird rashes that come and go whenever they want, and you didn't change a soap, deodorant, a shampoo, you didn't eat anything differently. These are often warning signs like the ones in your dashboard that you should not ignore. Please go to your licensed healthcare pro. If you're in Michigan, reach out to Dr. Bouvier. If you're not, reach out to me for a private video consultation or your own licensed healthcare provider. You could be getting chest pain or palpitations or shortness of breath. It might be a sign, maybe you're getting a heart blockage, or maybe it's just anxiety. But these are not to be ignored. They are for you to go to your doctor or your nurse practitioner or your licensed healthcare pro and tell them your symptoms so that they can do the correct testing to make sure there's not a bigger underlying problem that needs to be addressed. IBS, irritable bowel. You go into a restaurant, you're right away looking for the restroom just in case you need it. You're canceling your plans, or you're afraid to even make plans because of any of these symptoms that come and go whenever they want. Again, these are often signs of autoimmune disorders, but not always. IBS is often autoimmune related if it's Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, celiac, or IBS. Those are the four most common intestinal issues that often have an autoimmune component. So I would emphasize for you guys to please follow me, subscribe, whatever it may be. I can help you with autoimmune. Or maybe you're getting sick more often than you should be, having more severe symptoms, or they're lasting longer. That's a sign that, hello, you need to address it. Maybe you need to sleep more, eat better. You need to see a licensed healthcare pro to get additional testing to make sure you don't have an underlying autoimmune disorder. And sometimes, if you have an underlying autoimmune disorder, the medicines could weaken your immune system and make you sick more often. Then you go to the doctor, right? And there's some really good doctors out there. They're so slam busy with waiting room. They want to just give you 5 times, do a couple tests, and say it's normal. If you go to the doctor and you don't feel good, please advocate for yourself. Hey, doc, but I'm a lot more exhausted than I was last year. Something else is going on. Can you please order more tests? Can you please send me to a specialist? A lot of times, medications is a quick fix. Like the doc was saying, these meds, people need to realize autoimmune disorders is a leading cause of death in young to middle aged women, but so are the prescription drugs used to treat them. So I don't recommend prescription drugs as a first line. Now, I also, like Dr. B was saying, I tend to fuse multiple modalities. So I don't just do regular medicine or just naturopathy, plant based. I merge a whole bunch of them together and I do what's best for you. I merge holistic, naturopathic, root cause functional medicine, biohacking. I look at a genetic level and a cellular level. And most of the doctors don't, because in med school, they're not taught a lot of this. I look at NAD, I look at glutathione, I look at a lot of those other things. Now, a lot of times, you guys ever get a roof leak? You see a roof leak somewhere and you put a bucket under it, right? That's a quick fix. That's good for now, but that's never solving the problem. And the roof leak's getting bigger. It might affect electrical, cause mold issues. Medicine is often like a quick fix, good for now. And you have a pain, right? You take a pain pill. It helps the problem a little bit, but the underlying problem is still there. It's important that you address with your licensed healthcare pro what are the true root causes of your problem. Because if you do the quick fix with the medicine for the symptom, the underlying problem is still there and it's coming back and you need the medicine again. Now, what if instead of that bucket under the roof leak, you had the expert with the tools to show you how to fix the roof leak or even get up on the roof and do it for you, right? Wouldn't that be a better solution? In the long run, that's going to save you a lot of money because you don't need to do electrical and mold and whatnot, and it's going to save you a lot of time. So I want to be the expert for you when you have a medical mystery, a problem your healthcare providers couldn't solve, or autoimmune. I want to be the expert for you, empower you with the tools you need to expedite your journey, to save you time, save you money, and hopefully save gave you an ulcer. Now, it starts off with the mindset. You must believe it is possible. And I share this story, especially for those of you at Abbey Park right now. When my grandma was just about 8 years old, the doctor said she'd never walk again. I was a brand new nurse in 1993. I didn't know what I was doing yet. And I was like, wait, I have to get to the cause. If I get to the cause, I can solve the problem. Long story short, I gave her the mindset. I was like, Grandma, you're going to walk again. She asked me, you think I'll ever walk again? I said, yes. And because I gave her that belief, you have to first have the belief. So if you've been to all the doctors and they say you can't walk again, I have belief that it is possible and you can do it. You have to have the belief it is possible. Then after we believed she could walk again, we took consistent action steps and never ever quit. First, we did exercises to stretch and strengthen. Then we got her sitting balance and then standing balance and then walking a little further, a little further, a little further. And then she walked again with no cane, no walker, no nothing. That picture, that's not her on the beach. I superimposed it in the beach. Now, there's her grandma on the left when I was a new nurse, a new RN, 1993. And then there she is in the middle the next year after I got her walking and standing. There she is in Rockefeller Center, standing, no cane, no walker, no nothing. I cut her hair, I dyed it. So you have to have the belief it is possible, believe to achieve, never ever quit. Okay. And the doctors can be wrong too. So if they told you you're never going to get better, seek a different doctor, seek a different specialist. If you're in Michigan, seek Dr. B. If you're not, reach out to me for a consult. I do video consults. Now, when you're a caregiver, you got to say no. This is the hardest two-letter word. Practice it in the mirror, practice it with a little puppy dog, practice it with your friends. Say no, no, no. Because when you say no to the wrong things, then you have more time and more energy for the right things. So if something doesn't feel right and it makes you cringe, you don't have to go to dinner with that person. You don't have to go out to lunch, whatever it is. Say no. Say no, not right now. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you. Delegate duties out. For me, I use Instacart. I have shoppers shop for everything for me. So I learned to say no. I had to delegate duties out. I don't have to food shop 100% perfection, perfect. I let go of perfectionism. It takes too much time. If my groceries are done 80% and they didn't get my romaine lettuce, fine. What? So say no, delegate duties out, set boundaries, right? If there's someone, I don't know, for the grandmoms out there and they're like, please watch the grandkids again. Say, what? I'm not feeling well today. I'm tired. Please set boundaries, say no, delegate duties out, have shoppers bring you your groceries. Instacart, I love it. You also have to make time for yourself, no matter how busy your life is. Every single Monday now, I do 1 hour of Zumba and 1 hour of stretching, strengthening, and yoga. And wherever you are, there are rec centers where you can do a lot of these. Even if you're in a wheelchair or not weight bearing, you can get a DVD or a video on YouTube how to do exercises from a seated position. Now, sometimes we're like in our busy lifestyles, when we're the caregiver, we're doing things 24/7 and we can't squeeze in anything else. And like if you're going to the grocery store and you have a whole handful of groceries and you're like, wait, but there's my favorite dessert and it's on sale. You have to put something down to make room for something else. So there's only 24 hours in the day. If you want something bad enough, then you might have to let go of something else. So it's about letting go to gain. Now, here's an example, serenity prayer. Change, you have to be wise enough to know what you can change and what you can't. And right now, this is a call to action. I want you to think of something you've been holding on to for way too long that you cannot change. And you're like, if I wish I could, I would have. Please think of something right now that you cannot change. And just you can write it on a piece of paper, tear it up, and let it go because this will give you more time and more energy for the things that you can change. So the serenity prayer is be smart enough to know what you can change, what you can't, what you cannot change, let it go. So please, I want you to think of something you cannot change, write it on a piece of paper, rip it up, throw it out, let it go. Now, because you did that, you have more time and energy, right? Now you know what? I gave up yapping with the neighbor that I don't like for an hour a day, whatever. Maybe I like my neighbors, just full disclosure if they're watching. But if there's something that you can't change, just let it go and you'll have more time. Okay. So I call it spring cleaning. Do it quarterly. There are only 24 hours in a day. If there is toxic, negative people, say no to them, decline their invites. If you have to go, say, you know what, I have another event after this. I can only stay for about a half hour. You have the power. Sorry if your name is Debbie and you're the power to not associate and not spend time with Debbie Downers. That is your time, how you please, not to be on people that if they make you sad, mad, or angered, spend less time with them, right? So if they're Debbie Downers, set boundaries, say no. You can decide to give them a warning. What if you do this again? I can't hang out with you. I can't associate with you. I'm not going to call you as much. You can give them a warning, 1, 2, 3 strikes. If it's really bad, give them one warning or none. You could take a break from them. If you're friends with them on Facebook, hit that take a break button, hit that unfollow button, even hit that unfriend button. You can delete them on Facebook, you can block them, you can remove them from your social media groups, from your email list. You can take yourself off, unsubscribe to their YouTube, unsubscribe to their groups or their email list. So please, I encourage you to do spring cleaning because then you'll have more time. Now, also, I do simple swap outs, especially my 90-day program. Instead of watching an hour of TV a day, if you just do a 4 minute happy dance instead, that will save you 365 hours at the end of the year. And if you replace that 1 hour of TV with just a 4 minute happy dance, that you will have gained at the end of the year 24 hours of exercise just simply by picking a happy song and dancing for 4 minutes. It distresses you, it thickens the bones, it increases your stamina. If you can't get up, shake your head, clap your hands, whatever you're capable of doing. If you can't do a 4 minute happy dance, do 30 seconds, and over time, you'll be able to increase your stamina and do 45 seconds. And one of my clients couldn't do more than 30 seconds at a time. But in my 90-day program, by keep doing it, now she's up to 30 minutes a day on one of those rebounders. Out of 1,440 minutes in a day, you are worthy. You are deserving to take at least 4 of those minutes and just dance to de stress, thicken the bones, burn a couple calories, increase your stamina, help build your confidence, your posture, and so much more. Oh, oh, I hear music. Do I hear music? Woo! Are we doing, are we doing a minute happy dance or no? I don't know. All right. And you have to dream and dream big. This is one of my ladies' groups on Long Island, New York. We had a Galentine's Day where we built dream boards. And maybe those out there in Abbey Park want to build dream boards, right? And you get a piece of paper and you cut out magazine articles of things you like in your future. And it'll help you focus on what you want. And it's important to dream and dream big. No dream is impossible to do. Now, here's an example. A lot of times when we dream, when I was younger, I used to dream about being a nurse, right? And then I took the action steps needed to make it happen. So when we get to become an adult, we often forget about dreaming. We're too busy with work, kids, grandkids, whatever it may be, and we stop dreaming. But that's where the magic happens. Anybody really successful dreamed about what they want in their future. And then they figured out the action steps they're going to need. It's same like if you have a sailboat. If you don't know where your destination is, you're just going to wander, float around and be like, oh, here's not where I wanted to go. And same if you go into a store, you have to know what you want ahead of time, right? So that you come out with what you want. Otherwise, you come out of the store and you're like, oh my God, I forgot what I wanted to go in for. So it's important to dream and dream big. It could be a huge dream. Look, my grandma would have never thought she could walk again. And when I had my autoimmune disorders, the doctors typically they blew me off. They thought maybe you're just getting older, your tests are normal. And for those of you that don't know, as the nurse practitioner, I had to order my own tests, diagnose myself, heal myself holistically. Then some of my former doctors became my clients. And then I wrote about it in this book right here that reached #1 international bestseller, Overcoming Life Obstacles. So I want you guys to dream and dream big because a lot of times when you're suffering with symptoms, you might think like, wait, I went to the doctors. He says there's nothing else that could be done for me. I don't know what else I could do. I've been to the specialist. I could tell you, I have client after client after client after client that has been to all the doctors for years, had all the tests, been to all the specialists. And I do things differently that I could say with confidence. Every single person that came to me got better and felt better, reduced or eliminated their symptoms, their flare ups, and their reliance on prescription meds. So please dream and dream big. It doesn't matter if you're in a wheelchair and you want to walk again, have that dream and see what we can do to make it a reality. Now, I want you guys to think something that makes you happy and put it on your to-do list. It could be something small, it could be something big, because you are worthy. You are deserving to treat yourself as good, if not better, than your bestie. So, what makes you smile that maybe you can do this week? This is another call to action to you. Is it maybe just go down to the beach, go to the park, have lunch with a friend, have a friend come to you, play with the babies, the grandbabies, whatever it may be? I want you to think about something that makes you happy that you can do maybe within the next week or so. And I want you to schedule it. It could be it, oh, it could be something small. Now, what is it? Maybe it's just get a manicure. You could have somebody come to your living facility and give you a mani pedi, go to their salon that they have, go out to lunch, have a massage or a spa day, maybe play with the babies, the grandbabies, go for a hike, a bike ride. I want you, this is going to be your homework. So do this, and I want to hear the results. I want you to treat yourself as good as your bestie too. So think about who you would spend the most amount of money for on a holiday this past year, in the past 365 days. What's the most amount of money you spent on someone for a holiday, a birthday, a holiday, a Christmas, whatever it was, a Hanukkah, and how much time did you spend on that? And as long as it's legal, ethical, moral, I want you to spend that amount of time and that amount of money on yourself. Because you know what? You are worthy. You are deserving to treat yourself as good, if not better than your bestie. Now, so think about something. And if you're watching this on the replay, you can stop it. Think about what you want, and then write it in your calendar. Especially my caregivers, we know if it's not in the calendar, it's often not done, right? So what that this is your call to action. Treat yourself as well as you treat your bestie. What makes you smile? What makes you laugh more? What can you put in the calendar to maybe do it within the next week? That's of course legal, ethical, and moral. And you have to schedule it because often, especially if you're a healthcare pro, we know if it's not scheduled, it is not done. And I want to share something coming up. Mark your calendars for May 20th. I just opened the doors from the wait list for our next live. It's a live event, but no matter where you are in the world, you can attend because it's live online. So it's not pre-recorded. It's not you have to fly in somewhere. It's a live Reclaim Your Life Power Hours Super Workshop. There is no cost. So there is no reason, no excuses at all. It's live. You can attend from the comfort of your account and it is absolutely at no cost. But if you're like, hey, you want the VIP option, that's available. What you can do is scan that QR code or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. It's going to be a live Reclaim Your Life Power Hour by myself, Shayna, the autoimmune expert. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interactive. There's going to be calls to action to move your needle forward. The VIP option is going to get an extra power hour, Zoom access, the digital and printable workbook, and a mini consultation one-on-one with myself at another time for less than you would spend on a lunch. Okay. And I don't know if I will ever offer this free again, nor offer the VIP access for less than the price of a lunch. So your call to action is scan that QR code or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim and claim your free, no cost, or VIP seat. Then mark your calendars for May 20th at 7 p.m. EST time. That's New York time. And I finished 3 minutes early.
Well,
Oh my
hot
God.
diggity, diggity, dog
Whoop,
girl.
whoop, whoop, whoop,
Whoop,
whoop.
whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, so that event will be coming up really quick. The Reclaim Your Life workshop, it's a little bit different than what we're doing here. We had a lot of speakers come in, but you typically do like a 1 hour pack session of
Yes.
content that's focused on empowering caregivers and just people that might be maybe not even a caregiver, they're just having a health crisis and they can't figure out how to get back on track. I have literally witnessed people within like a 8 week period get back from not moving in their chair
Yes.
to now they're moving and engaging and it's through your program. So it's delightful to know that that is free. They can go register right now for free. Worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim and grab your seat. I know that you typically have a VIP group
Yes.
afterwards. Can you share with the viewers what that's about? Because again,
Sure.
it's different than what we're doing here.
Yes. The VIP access is okay. So the free version is usually you will catch it on a private YouTube channel online. But when you get VIP access, you're on the Zoom with me. I'm seeing your beautiful face. You're dropping your comments, your questions. I'm answering your questions. So the VIP, so the free event is a power hour, and then the VIPs are on the Zoom access, dropping their questions and comments. I am seeing them. I am interacting live with them, and the VIPs also get an extra power hour immediately after the free hour for a much deeper dive, gold nuggets. They get to ask me their questions where while I'm on the Zoom with them, I'm giving them answers in real time. They get the digital and printable Reclaim Your Life super workshop blueprints with the notes and all the worksheets that they can print out ahead of time with the calls to action, write them all inside. And then they also get a private one-on-one video consultation with me at another time.
Which I gotta
And
tell you, I gotta interrupt you. It still blows my mind. It still blows my mind that you do that because
yes.
your rate. I only know this because I do Sheena's marketing. I produce her marketing in the background, but her rate is higher than the cost of going into that. So share with people why you do that approach because it's
Oh,
cool. It's not just like generic info. You start getting into
yes.
specifics to help people.
Yes, I think a lot of there's so much information out there and there's so much misinformation. And when I needed a roof, I wasn't going to go Google it and figure out how to do it, right? So guys, if you're not Googling how to fix your own car and how to fix your roof, why are you Googling how to fix your own body? You have one life. You can't get replacement parts that easy. But yet we're resorting to Google. And not only is there way too much information, most of it is wrong. And there are people on the internet that are acting like doctors that aren't licensed healthcare pros. And people like, oh, so and so says to do this. I'm like, do you realize they have no license, no degrees in what they're doing?
Well, the one thing that I
So,
do like is that you empower people also to do their own research and information. But the
yes,
distinguishing thing is sometimes when we do our research, we're missing a major piece to the puzzle. And that one
yes.
thing could be really a big deal. And I'm gonna set you up for an example.
Okay.
Let's talk about because one of my favorite foods for health benefits is garlic. So, with
oh,
that being
okay.
said, like this goes specific to being empowered with knowledge, but then
Okay.
going back to the sources so that you can get all the full facts.
Yes.
So, with that, I'd love for you to wrap it up and tell us about garlic. And it's one of my favorite foods,
Okay.
by the way.
I love garlic. Garlic, I love using food as medicine. I've been doing it since the 70s when I learned it from my grandma. And I merge in naturopathy with traditional medicine and I do what's best for the person. Garlic is a great anti-inflammatory, especially fresh garlic, and especially if it's uncooked or if you cut it and don't cook it right away. It is a great anti-inflammatory. It reduces cholesterol, reduces blood pressure, and so much more. It also works almost like an antibacterial. Plus, if you slather a little on, it'll keep the insects and maybe the men away as well. However, there's also, we have to be careful of what our unique triggers are. And I'll give you a couple examples. Garlic could be a huge trigger for people with specific autoimmune disorders like lupus. I have one of my clients, a fellow nurse, she was eating garlic all the time because she knows it can reduce inflammation. However, she had lupus, and through my 90-day Your Wellness Journey program, I helped her realize that garlic was a trigger for her, and it was actually flaring up her lupus. So it's important to, and most of the licensed healthcare pros out there will not tell you. I've had numerous clients come to me with lupus and I helped them discover that garlic was a trigger for them. So garlic normally reduces blood pressure, cholesterol. It keeps the bacteria away, keeps the bugs away, keeps the men away. But if you have lupus, it could be triggering a flare up.
Yeah, and
So
I think that's why it's important. Like, go get your knowledge, but then come back to center base and know somebody that can proof check it. For instance, I do editing all the time, video, print, writing. I'm not going to catch it all. I still have to say, somebody look at this with another set of eyes. And if you can get
yes,
another set of eyes that's looking at things, and you going back to that thing that you said, there's plenty of information on the internet, but there's a gift called the gift of discernment. And I think that that
yes,
is number one, but also having the right people guide you on a
yes.
journey. So, and I've
And I
seen you do that with your patients and clients over and over, where you give them information to feel empowered. You never
yes.
belittle, and instead you show them it's not as complicated, but these are the things you have to master. And I love that about you because sometimes some people want to keep it where it's like they only have the knowledge but it's about your body. You should know what's going on.
Yes.
So,
And
yeah,
that's a
you are an incredible healer. I'm not going to call
thank
you a
you.
medical professional. I think that you heal people, and I love that. I love being a
Thank
part
you.
of witnessing it. It's very
And
cool. Kudos
I
to
think
you.
thank you. I think also what helps is that I've been on the patient end. I have the autoimmune and I was blown off by the doctors and
Oh, it's
gaslit
hard.
that, like I said, there's some very good ones out there, but typically the average person with autoimmune gets misdiagnosed for a few years,
Yeah.
which means they're not treated correctly for a few years.
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard Dr. Bouvier at the beginning, and he was saying
Yes,
through
he's
his
good.
studies, 94% of the medical medicine information is incorrect. That
Yes.
94%. And this is from hospitals.
Yes.
So be empowered. Do things like the book, like Dr. Bouvier was saying. Do things like Shana was saying with your daily health and wellness. And I think that you have struggles no matter what in life, but what we do
Yes.
to make the journey a little bit more bearable can be done up front right now while you're well. Do it now. Go get your estate plan.
Yes.
Start dancing. Get off your butt while you're sitting here watching us. Move your arms. Dance to a little beat. Act like a kid. Get in touch with your inner child.
That's a very good point because we can always, the doctors will say we can't reverse disease, some of the doctors, but I know we can. So there is still
Oh,
hope for
yeah,
you.
you can.
But it's much easier when it's caught earlier and
Yeah.
prevention. It's like you
Yeah.
can't get in a car accident and then put on your seatbelt and expect it to work.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to
What's
prevent
that
your
saying?
disease
An
than treat
ounce
it.
of prevention is worth a pound of.
Pound of cure.
Yeah. So we'll take
Yes.
that. But well, Sheena, I am so incredibly
Thank you
grateful. I
so
mean, you came
much.
out here, you stayed with me the full 3 hours. I can't say thank you enough. And even above and beyond the scope of what we've done here, it really is an honor to see
Oh,
individuals like yourself going out there and taking an agenda such as healthcare, sick care, and turning it
oh,
into how do we get people feeling good again? And I just want to say
can
thank
I,
you for being you. Good
thank you. Can I
kudos to
share
you.
some good news?
Yeah, please do.
I was just nominated NP of the Year for Long Island and New York
Yay.
State.
Woo. Now, was it Healthcare Professional of the Year for New
Healthcare,
York in
yes, last year.
2025? Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
about a year
we
ago.
got some A players right here on Kudos for all of you. So, if you haven't signed up, also go over to kudosspotlight.com. Sign up for our newsletter. You'll be hearing from all of these people and more in this upcoming year. But yeah, it's not possible without people like Shayna coming on board.
Oh,
So thanks, Shayna. Was there
thank
any
you.
other last minute things that you wanted to say before we wrap
I
up?
just really wanted to thank you and Kudos
Aw,
Magazine and Brady Events and Marketing for all you do for all of us because
aw,
you put this entire massive event together and did everything from emceeing to inviting to sound checks for
aw.
days and content. So thank you. Because of you, my message is reaching far off lands where I am, I think, on most continents, if not all by now.
Maybe not Antarctica.
No, I don't think I have a client there, but definitely
No
from Canada
Antarctica.
to UK to Japan to China to Hong Kong to
New Zealand,
Australia, New
Australia.
Zealand. I don't even
I
know
think you
where
had one in
else.
Germany. Yeah, yeah. We do a tour around the world.
Grenada too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that one, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Canada. Let's not. I love my
Oh,
Canadian friends.
Canada. Yeah, we've got to
Yeah,
get the
they're big with me.
Canadians. Oh, Canucks, eh? Yeah, I love my
Woo.
Canadians. Hey,
Yes.
we're right by Windsor. I can't help but to love our Canadians. All right.
Yes,
Well,
and a lot of them come over the border to the US to get care by me because I can order testing
oh,
in the US. So they're instead of waiting like a year, sometimes they're waiting a year. I just heard that one of my clients the other day, her husband's waiting a year for an MRI. So yeah, so
wow.
I have a big team that I collaborate with and I can order testing, blood testing in any state and lab and diagnostic testing. So she might sneak over to the border to Michigan and get her testing
Yeah.
because instead of waiting like months and
Oh,
months
yeah,
with
it's
her.
literally we've got a bridge and a tunnel. So like if you're
Yes.
I used to live in Metro Detroit. So I used to be in Canada every week. So, but
So
yeah, not
the
it's been a
Canadians
while.
they like going out of their insurance to come to me because they don't want to wait so many months.
This is true. This is true. Yeah. Yeah. And that
So I
gets into
order their
that whole
testing
other
in
thing of
Michigan.
healthcare. Yeah. Yeah. But I think that, okay, whether it's Canadian healthcare or American healthcare, this is what I do want to say, because I'm seeing it on the rise with some of my clients that I have that are healthcare providers like yourself and several doctors, they're moving into, yes, they're doing insurance, but they're getting into private pay options. And part of it is
Yes.
because a lot of times the insurance is dictating things that aren't really aligned
Yes.
with health healing. It's aligned with sick care. This is what you can do. And I think that I think there's a lot of change that we can do in our communities, but one is being aware to resources that are available. You have the things that you need, but then if you have opportunity that you want to invest in, some people might go invest in drinking, smoking, eating fat food. Other people might be invested in taking that money and buying a
Yes.
premium health care so that they can get on track and start feeling good. Because I would tell you what, if you don't have your
Yeah.
health, you have nothing.
Yes, that's such a good
Nothing.
point. I Googled it the other day, and the average American spends about 7,500 on average on a vacation. And for
Oh,
way
on a
less than that,
vacation. And it's just
yeah,
like
so
a
if they
2 week vacation.
exactly,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, is your visit covered by my insurance?" But I'm like, "You just spent 7,500 on 1 week doing
Yeah.
absolutely nothing that's rocking your world and changing your life
Yeah. Yeah. And
forever."
then imagine if you take that time and apply it into healing.
Yes,
Vacations are awesome. I
or just
love
hair and
myself a
nails.
vacation. But like
Like,
if you had a choice of do something that you invest into your body that's going to give you 5 more
mhm,
years of life of feeling great or what, and not there's no guarantee, but the point that I'm
yeah,
trying to make is use your resources, time and money to make your body feel good. And this is
yes.
important if you're a caregiver or even if you're fighting a disease yourself, cancer, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis.
You
Make
have
the
to. I
choices now.
Yes, I think it's
Little
redirect
things.
spending because a lot of women will spend to get their updo, their hair colored, dyed,
Oh
curled, their
yeah.
mani pedi every single week.
Yeah.
But then they're like, "Oh, is your visit covered
Starbucks.
by my
We'll even
insurance?"
start at Starbucks. I had a big
The $5 a
I
day,
love my
a cup.
Starbucks for
I know.
years. We hit it right down the road at the end of my neighborhood. I'd get a Starbucks every day. But if you do $5 times
Yeah,
5, that's like one coffee a week. You've got a
okay,
hundred
yeah,
bucks in a month for
yeah,
nothing, for
easily,
coffee, for
yeah.
a drink.
And
So
then,
anyhow, put it
yeah,
where it's gonna
and
help you feel good.
one
It's little
one more
things.
final thought, because I
Yeah.
have patients too that I have helped get off all their meds. So like one is off 9 prescriptions a month. So look at the copay she was spending for 9 prescriptions, the doctor visits,
That's
the
right.
specialist, times 12 months a year,
That's
times the
right.
next 10 years, how much money she's saving.
That's right.
So we have to retrain our brain and look at it as
It
a
is.
saving, not an
It's a
expense.
mindset shift. All of it is a mindset. Everything that we talked about today, Shayna, it's really about mindset. You got to adjust your mind, get a little adaptable, and you're going to be
Yeah.
okay. You're going to be okay. Surround yourself with
Thank you
good people
again.
like we have here at Kudos. And again, Shayna, thank you so much. Big kudos to you. I appreciate you. And I just wanted to sign off really quick and say thank you to all of our speakers today and all of our viewers. We appreciate all of your patience with a couple of the tech problems that we had, but I hope that you have a blessed day. Share this link with others, kudoscaregiver.com, because we're going to have this on the replay. And then each of the speakers have some little things that they'll have on that for the replay page later for you too. In the meantime, be good, be happy, and most definitely be blessed.